turn to ban.
That's pay to win, baby!
Ban. Mineski's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Mineski's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
干嘛呢，兄弟？
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Mineski's turn to pick.
10,
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Mineski's turn to pick.
Grimstroke.
Radiant remaining pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Race King.
Mineski's turn to ban.
Ahí lo veo y conversamos. Sin verlo no te puedo decir. Primero hay que ver si se puede salvar o no. Y en base a eso se va trabajando y yo ya...
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Mineski's turn to ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Mineski's turn to pick. Radiant team pick.
No voy a llorar en la calle. Me voy a portar como un hombrecito, como un niño. No voy a llorar por todo. Voy a seguir hablando.
10 seconds remaining.
Ah, ok. Ya, ahora sí.
5 seconds remaining.
Por eso dije, por favor. La palabra mágica es por favor. No te cuesta nada. Anda, vamos, vamos. Acércate, por favor.
Mineski's turn to pick.
Spirit Breaker.
Me presta. Solo lo voy a usar en la casa.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Morphling.
Mineski's turn to ban.
Dark Seer.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ah, ya, pero antes usaba. Ponías en el mío, en el rojo. Ah, ya.
Radiant team pick. Mineski's turn to pick.
Templar Assassin.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Storm
Choose
Spirit.
your hero. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It makes it sound like we have to go to math class. I was like, 1 plus 1. All right, Kyle, let's make some numbers together. 1 plus 1 does not equal a victory. That's a draw. You need three games in the series in this to get through. What? That's me trying to make some numbers. This is why I didn't do maths, and I did arts.
Yeah, you can teach a remedial course, I'm sure, though.
Sure, trade and business.
I don't think I agree with the panel about the results of this, and obviously my brother is on the team, but I still do think the complexities draft is well suited to deal with what Mineski wants to do here.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have a lot of early game tempo. You're going to be able to control the map with the Darkseer Spirit Breaker, natural Vessel Buyer against Wisp and Morph. Feels like Mineski could win if the game goes late enough, but I think Cole will be strong enough to tighten the noose.
Well, we had that kind of question earlier today, right? There's a Chen on the field, and I can't remember who it was that asked up in the green room. It's like, what influence do you feel a Chen has had? Like, how much of a result have you actually got out of picking this hero? And that's one of my questions going to be in the early phase of this game.
I know, it's just because Sint hates Chen. He thinks he's a terrible hero. But what he doesn't tell you is that he's the one playing Chen for his team, and it probably is quite bad when you can take that into account. 3-4-3 though, one of the better 5 Chens in my opinion, and it's nice to captain on the hero, strangely enough. It's difficult to play stuff like Furion, I feel, because you have to be constantly thinking about like around the map, whereas Chen, it's more like you're mobilizing in a direction, you're the general leading the cavalry.
You're not sitting there going, oh crap, micro as hard as I possibly can and see where everything is at all times.
And the big thing that I worry about with Mineski's draft is that a lot of their heroes are vision consumers, right? Storm, Morphling, Wisp, they want to have more information so that you can properly like find the opportunities to make pickoffs and engage, right? You want to play this guerrilla warfare type of Dota, whereas complexity, you're going to have traps and creeps and skeletons, and you're going to have ion shells pushing waves, spirit breaker charging. You have so many methods of finding vision and getting on to these weaker Mineski supports, killing them off first.
See, I'm still interested to see if that's going to be a big factor, because like I kind of always turn a little bit with Mineski to the off lane, even though like Moon has been like such a superstar whenever he plays anything, which is as great as like a Storm Spirit hero. But having Devour on Doom, how effective is Chen able to be? What happens if you see Midas and Devour start to arrive? Can you keep that army up? And can you actually add that pressure? It's very sustainable, and with these aura-style building Doombringers, Mineski may just have that strength to fight through the sustain before you get something like a Spirit Vessel.
No, that's a good point. It's a really good point. I think that it's important that Cole just make clever rotations with their Chen. I think that's easy because they have the global mobility. You know, you're going to be able to summon players to you, and you have a Spirit Breaker charge that can also connect. The big concern for me is the Wisp. If he has a free game on Raging Potato, it changes the status quo a bit because you're more easily able to play around the side lanes and force Cole to just keep like wasting their energy charging back and forth across the map.
He also appears to be like the bigger lifeline. We've seen Morphlings just rip apart yesterday, and this will probably be very much the same if he can get up to a half decent start. So then I kind of beg the question, how much pressure can Complexity apply, and where should they apply?
Well, this is a good start. They want to be against the enemy tri-lane. Wisp, not the greatest laner, and Chen, Spirit Darkseer, can apply a ton of harass in this lane. Wraith King bottom versus Doom is a trade. And the main thing, to your point, you don't want to put Chen against Doom if you can help it. Because it's just so easy for KP to walk over, eat the creep, and remove the ability of the Chen to pressure. And it's better after the change where you can toggle whether or not you actually want that buff. Because previously, Chen could harass you with these really bad creeps, and you didn't want to eat them after you got like a Satyr. So you had to just tank it, whereas now you just eat it anyway, but keep the buff that you prefer.
How do you, actually, we looked towards the Wraith King, like another hero who was very hotly contested during the first series of today. How's this matchup go? And itemization-wise, if Complexity are meant to be pushing earlier on, can Miracle go for the slow Midas, or should he be looking for the early armor and fight?
Hang on, up top we got a little bit of aggression. Just not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, just getting up in your face for the moment.
It was really weird. Sorry,
You're fine.
Chen, was hiding, but KP was actually hiding on the right side and didn't show until Adam or 343 on the Chen had already teleported. So I don't know if he was trying to hide that or if this is the plan all along. But anyway, sorry, what was your question?
The question was the itemization from a Wraith King. Like, how does he actually try and start this? We may not even get to that point because Z-Freak and Tavo, they went straight back in again. Ninja Boogie got the perfect slow and the body blocks up. Z-Freak into the trees, hiding inside the fog of war, stabs up quickly, gives just enough life to get away, combining with the stick charges. He moves into the trees, but no, he decides not to run back, trying to juke the vision of Ninja Boogie.
Yeah, really good block.
Nothing.
Yeah, Ninja Boogie set that up perfectly, hit both of his swells and then with the strokes rather, and he had the nice body blocks to ensure the kill. I'm very surprised Complexity weren't backlaning. Why are they up in the face of 3 ranged heroes in the creep wave instead of just running behind tower and dragging it away?
And they're fighting inside the creep wave as well, which is only just making the Grimstroke even stronger. Like, it feels odd, and maybe now they try it, but can you still do this? Like, you got level 1 Iron Shells to work with, and no level 2s just yet. In fact, Raging Potatoes already cracked level 2 along with the Morphling, so the Wisp balls are now up.
Tri-lane versus dual lane, yet somehow Mineski are getting that level up earlier. Now we got level 2, though, on the Cole duo, but it's still just tough because now you can see the Mineski start, but they broke these trees, right? So they can actually just pull the creep waves towards their own creeps and the dual lane of Complexity. So it's going to cause Tavo and Z-Freak a lot of issues. Mid lane, pretty much a wash, 10 versus 9-3. And then bottom, 343 helping to secure Miracle's free farm bottom. And we'll see. I think the Wraith King goes Midas for sure. I've liked the armlet build that I've been seeing.
Yeah.
And I think in this game,
that's what I was saying. Like, if you're playing a faster tempo, is armlet better than Midas? But
I like armlet because you look at the Mineski heroes, they have so much low armor heroes. Like, sure, Morph's got a lot, but I'm just never a fan of rushing Radiance against Morphling because then he's just playing as the Wraith King now for a bit in the fight.
But if you don't get that early advantage, if you don't get the snowball in for your lineup, you've got a Doombringer who is going to completely outscale everything that the Wraith King can offer, just because of the way Devour functions. Not to mention
Wraith King. How does he do? What do you mean?
As I'm just thinking, how much money you can get into the Doombringer. He's just gonna when it comes
doesn't outscale Wraith King. What are you
really
talking about?
Going for that?
No, Wraith King crushes him. He's low armor, and if you doom him, he's respawning. Obviously, he'll keep scaling because Devour, but it's more the Morphling that you got to worry about here for your Complexity. Because later on in the game, especially when you add the Grimstroke ultimate, double shotgun with the double doom, there's just nothing Cole's going to be able to do. TA specifically for Limp is more of this early mid-game tempo control, and Storm as well, arguably the best 25 talent in Dota. Just this whole vision advantage Complexity has will fade once Mineski is able to kill them from the far corners of the map.
Looks like KP is being forced out of the bottom lane just a little bit, with Chen being back down there. And yes, I put too much pressure on KP. That's my bad. I looked to the Australian.
Yeah.
Double damage.
Typical bias. Casters.
Yeah, my God. Yeah. But God, what have you? I think I've just taken it from you. You're no longer biased. It's all.
I don't even know who I'm biased. I don't know if I'm biased for teams or against them. It changes constantly, and I'm never sure. I got DMs after doing the final between EG and Secret that it was a shame. I was a terrible person because I obviously was rooting for Team X, and it was both teams. And guys, I like both of them. I just like good Dota. Toby doesn't know what good Dota is, but I'm sure if he did, he'd be a fan.
Hey, that's the reason why I have co-casters.
Yeah, a bit slower. Oh, mid though.
Yeah, just before he's level 6, so there's no easy escape from him. Lim trying to get a little bit close, but Lim doesn't have that either. But 3-4-3, in through the rear, Raging Potato will arrive in time, getting Moon into the trees and getting that regeneration in. Doesn't matter if he's maxed. Ninja Boogie going to get his own swell off, looking for 3-4-3. All the start into Z-Freak. That'll also work for Z-Freak, ready to charge away. Slowed up, but he'll get his movement speed back. As the stroke fades, and there she just changed targets. Over towards KP with the Hellfire Blast, pushing him up and down and away from the bounty runes. They can keep the pressure up, especially when Z-Freak's able to get the RNG in.
Yeah, very weird to me. Adam didn't use Tornado under tower, even though it's like got a slow attached along with a lot of damage. Instead, he just kind of ran in a circle, got one auto attack off on the Storm. It would have also been able to cancel the salve regen on Raging Potato more efficiently, but just strange. I like the dive, but I think it was just a bit early. You can see Storm rotating into jungle. This to be expected as TA gets higher levels. You don't want to be mid without 6 as TA hits 6. It's very dangerous, especially when you know Z-Freak and Adam are looking to dual roam.
It's that early pressure, though, you're talking about. Like, Complexity need to get in there. They need to add some pressure. At least they got all 4 bounty runes, so that's an upside. And here comes Z-Freak. Going to work with Tavo. Puts the Iron Shell on him. Raging Potato. And they switch targets over towards the IO. Thanks that extra bash, and they're going to pop him.
That, yeah, that's some RNG right there, baby. One of these days, you will get a match. The charge now coming out into the Storm. He is level 6, however. Adam's in a lot of trouble here.
Moon doesn't have a lot of mana left, so yeah, you'll get the kill on the 3-4-3. Canceling the charge ward from Z-Freak, and that will give just enough time to complete the TP.
Bash for a bash. The RNG god making sure that we have a balanced game.
The bill always is paid.
Yeah. Bottom, you can see Miracle already with phase boots will be going into the Midas most likely with that extra glove of haste. And he is very formidable down here. Even though there's a Grimstroke and a Doom in his lane, you just can't threaten him. It's just the nature of the hero. It's very hard. You have Chen in the vicinity, still with the aura creeps to be expected. You're playing against the Doom to your point, so he can't really harass with them. Just trying to farm and make rotations away from him. If Dire scan him out, though, they will know that he's moving in that vicinity, just trying to place some warts.
Yeah, this is that question mark. Like, where's Chen meant to have a real influence? Like, can you actually still run like jungle style Chen and just play catch up and have these great items? But then he's a 5 position Chen.
Yeah,
he's not a 4th position, so he shouldn't be taking that money anyway. Top lane, they're going to go. Tavo charging forward over. Once again, they're just trying to bait Raging Potato into a fight, but Morphling, he wants to kill. Tavo, thanks to the surge, even with the nerf, he has enough movement speed to get back out.
Z-Freak does not have the Iron Shell anymore, so he's going to just TP out. Yep, this is how you want to keep playing Spirit Breaker. Just always using the charge, trying to get aggressive, and moving around the map. You don't want your predictable movements. The charge angles.
They also don't see it coming. There's 3 observer walls that got planted down. So Maneski don't have any early detection, and Complexity are able to watch if they do try and gain something. KP being charged, Hellfire Blast comes out, and Z-Freak, he's looking for the follow-up right underneath the tower. KP's got a lot of life, Grimstroke is there. He can actually let out the swell, so Doombringer, if they want to stay on top of him, they can try, but it won't work.
Yep, I think there's just so much ability from Maneski. They run away. They're not connecting with the charges in time to find the kills. That's just because Maneski are playing defensively once they recognize that Z-Freak's looking to make that move. Top tower. It's one of the downsides about Darkseer versus Morph. You hit this phase where you just can't threaten the hero anymore, and he ignores your harass, especially with the sustain of a Morbid Mask and the Friendly Wisp.
Yeah, how do you actually keep an Iron Shell on the lane to push it back? Like, I don't think we've seen that creep wave underneath the Tier 1 tower in a while, and Z-Freak, well, with the Invis rune, he was hoping to go on to the IO. Instead, they'll have Morphling. But wait, Tambo and Z-Freak have started this every single time, so they're going for Invis burn. But they've been trying to bait Raging Potato out and then fight him, not go the Morph.
Yeah, so far I'd say this favors Maneski, though. They just want to buy some time. Ajit looking to free farm. That's the big win condition. Moon able to farm the jungle, no problem. And sure, TA is ahead in the net worth department, but Limp really just hasn't got too much of an edge. Done some damage to the mid tower, but you ideally want to be looking to kill it on the next Catapult Wave, and I don't see that happening. He does have a huge Ancient stack, however. May look to take that soon.
Well, that injection of money, maybe momentum can be kicked up a little bit more, but 3 kills within the first 9 minutes, that's probably not exactly what Beneski were looking for, but it doesn't swing either team's way heavily. Z-Freak is returning to the top lane to try this again, but it feels futile.
Yeah, and this is the thing about the Mineski cores, where if you don't get the advantage in the lane, don't target. Oh, that's cool.
Actually pulls him down with the Iron Shell and the Surgeon around Z-Freak just to quickly move on to KP, and with the double stun, the 3-4-3 off, as KP will fall in the off lane.
Yep, and those are the sorts of moves Complexity's got to look to make, right? Where he's Iron Shelled as he's being summoned in, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, what? And Doom's dead. If the charge is waited for, he's going to be in the safety of his tower. It's just not going to work that well. The charging forward again.
10-minute bounty rune. Z-Freak just pushes them back, and Jabugi will manage to grab one of the runes. There was a battle on top as well. Io and Morphling were trying to contest, even under TA traps.
Nice job by Adam. Oh, that sentry just going to miss the ward to the top left. Tavo. They did a nice job top. They pushed the tower to just before deny range. Mid, Limp's going to attempt to kill this one. He took a huge ancient stack, and that's why his net worth is shot up to the top of the graph.
He's going straight into Blink too.
Yeah, I like that decision because we talked about it. You're not going to win in the super late game as Complexity. You need to get map control in the mid game, and you can do that if you're able to abuse vision and pace and speed. The blink, the charges, the summons, you can do this very easily if you get these timings in conjunction. You find those early kills, take the tier 1s first, and you can force Storm and Morphling into subpar farming patterns. You got that Midas completed as well on Wraith. Took a little bit longer than you probably wanted, 10 minutes, and has the Radiance queued up. So we've locked in Miracle's trajectory. And you can see Doom with the max Devour, not just for the NHN, but for the maximum scaling ability. Yeah. Really good for KP. Plus, of course, the built-in 41 health regen when he's got 2 ticking. It's kind of ridiculous. And he just wants to sit down here bottom, make himself a target, because his other 2 cores, the Morph, the Storm, you're not threatened by Spirit Breaker charges whatsoever. There's no real way for Complexity to find kills on cores unless they're out of position to make a mistake. It's the supports they want to be hunting, and stuff to do that. That's why they're going to look to smoke up here as Limp just finishes his fresh blink. It's go time. You got level 6 on the Chen, level 7 Spirit Breaker, maxed out Bash, which means that Nether Strike will be.
This timing feels a bit off though, because Io has relocated. He's managed to hit level 6 up on the top, so
you don't want to fight though, Toby. You do not want to fight if you're Mineski. It's very difficult. Unless you are initiating with a Grimstroke ult into a Doom, it's just not a possibility. They're going to find the Storm.
But if Moon can get the jump away, he should be okay. KP, he's going to be flagging something too. They're missing bottom, they're missing top. This feels a little too telegraphed, and Moon just silently showing it. And he's getting himself a regeneration rune as well. And there's the complexity of the complexity draft, where you want to make plays, but if you can't, you're hamstrung a bit. And I like the decision 3-for-3 just wants to kill the mid tower. You're going to have a charge coming out bottom. Ninja Boogie.
They're just gonna look to walk away here, it appears, but no, Ninja Boogie.
KP's nearby. He's going to consume the health there, and Ninja Boogie a little bit too deep. Relocate is on the way, but Ninja Boogie already died. It's a quick silence, but now the damage. Miracle, he's got a secondary life, ready to use it. 7 seconds to relocate, comes back. Now Storm Spirit moves, jumping into this fight, and they get the kill on the Ire. So Morphling is going to be stranded, looking for his own fight. Z-Freak, and they're still killing off the hand of God, gives so much more life back. At least there is the Doom out at the moment on the TA, so she doesn't get any more refraction, no more bonus damage. So Ajit looking to actually change around and attack back into Tavo, remove anything you possibly got. Waveform down looking for another kill. Limp finally is now unsilenced. That chase down KP right behind him. The damage output is ridiculous from the Morphing. A triple kill for Ajit.
And that's the downside of this Blink first max melt from Limp. Like, Ajit just crushed that fight. He did almost all of the damage. How much was he responsible for it? He did more damage than the rest of his team combined in that engagement, because you're able to get the refraction up, and then you're melt striking these heroes with incredibly low armor. Only 10 on the Wraith King, 12 on the Spirit Breaker, 11 on Darkseer, and 5 on Chen. So he's just shredding through them, and obviously Morph already hits hard enough. That was without Doom, without the Soul Bind. I said Mineski can't fight, but when it goes that well, you got to question maybe Cole going for the wrong targets. They all end on Doom, but he was able to get it off on the TA. That prevents Limp from actually contributing, but he's still in range, so Morph can take him over. Feels like a 6-on-4.
There's a wrap around the side, and it starts with a Soul Find. KP just moving forward, 3-4-3 and Limp. They're just tanking through this, but it's buying time. Morphling will arrive, they'll get the slow. Limp into the trees, Refraction defensive is already gone. He's got a melt available, and here comes Tavo. Needs to help out. Relocate doesn't arrive. Raging Potato just needs to bump up his supports or his core. Either one. 3-4-3 is the one being chased down underneath the tier 1 tower of the dire side. Tavo at least can gets the double kill in return. Maybe he can escape. Z-Freak returning with the charge back to the fight.
This Morph Illusion is doing so much damage. It's the only reason they're able to find those trade kills. But that's still great for Mineski because Storm just farming this entire time. And if you look at it, Ajit, top of the net worth, almost at a Lincoln's. We're only near 15 minutes into the game. This is great because, as we've seen, now KP, he's accelerating to your point. Max Devour, they're going to just continue to upgrade. And at a certain point, you get a Soul Bind and a Doom, and Complexity cannot win fights any longer. Chen is meant to dominate the early game,
but this is what you're meant to look for whenever, like, it's any team that KP plays in. Storm Spirit jumping up, he's just looking for the runes. Ends up being one going the way of Miracle, the rest of Mineski. But it's the way KP plays. He's played this way in every single team he's in, where he plays as the real one. You think back of the days when he used to play the Naga Siren, where it's like, you know what, I'll build the Radiant, I'll do the split push. And I feel like when he gets on a hero like Doom, it's exactly the same type of thing. And he is able to outscale almost anyone on complexity because it's just the nature of the hero. And now he's got himself a Crimson Guard. Hey, it's true to an extent. It was my point at least.
Anyone on Complexity might be a bit of an overstatement because of the Wraith King, but I do agree, and conceptually it gives Mineski's draft like that ultimate late game dominance, especially after the changes to Roshan. You get the Refresher Shard perhaps on that third. You have a Grimstroke. If you delete 2 cold heroes and then you have a Storm and a Morph, how do you lose the late game? You know, it just gets to the point where if you examine these drafts at 30 minutes and think, okay, if both teams cast all their spells, who wins? Mineski does in a landslide. And it's just so difficult for Complexity because they're low-ish on disables. It's mostly just that Spirit Breaker. Tough to take down these elusive heroes such as Morph and Storm that can just avoid your disable entirely.
Yeah. Especially if you got like Lincoln's, like well, your long range charge, like there's no more.
It's Wraith King stun, like there's not much you have to cancel it out.
Yeah, there's no chain stunning, and then he can potentially, as he said, like steal refraction from TA, and then you got to get through the shield bubbles first, and then the Lincolns as well. It's just very, very problematic for Mineski about how they target a hero at the beginning, because you want to go IO, right? Like you have to remove the IO from the field. And maybe that's the easier target, and the reason why we're seeing the blink over on TA. But can you get anybody else?
Yeah, the problem is Complexity are trying to hit and run, but at the moment the car isn't starting. And I just don't see them winning a game centered around trying to accelerate. Their next play, though, like it's not like they're out of it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But they need to get Roche, and they need to try and have some sort of objective go down. There's a Doom.
Coming on towards the top. Doom is already out over on Darkseer. KP was the one that started this, and he may be the one to finish it. No, of course he won't. You have the adaptive strike from Ajit, and that'll be another kill. It's 4 in total for the Morphling.
I like the build on KP. Just phase into Crimson Guard. Look at Complexity's lineup, right? Outside of the Darkseer Ion Shell, almost 0 magical damage. You can reduce the TA and rate.
I don't think he wants to be there. You got the Eye on the Morphling coming up behind him. Moves just jump straight over the top. You got the Vortex. He's trying to charge himself away with the extra movement speed from the phase grids, and the Helicar's still not enough to keep Z-Freak alive. Cows don't work well in water, and then they're going to go for the Chen army as well. The entire thing gets destroyed.
So the item synergies, right? You've got Midas Radiance on Miracle, but Limp's rushing Blink. So at what point were they looking to... yeah, it just feels like they were a bit desynced this game. Right now, Mineski punishing. A bit of a lag spike, yeah, felt that too. Looks like we should be fine now. But it just gets easier for Mineski to play this game. And Cole, you need to get Roche. That's got to be your objective here. You've got Wraith King. You're going to have a Deso soon on TA. You need to get it ASAP because you're winning the game. You get a bit of an edge with the Roche, sure. But if you want to win the game, it's when you pick up the third one, the second one. And
so you need to start the timer.
Exactly.
That's a hard ask, man. Mineski have a lot of ways to jump inside the pit and cause chaos. At least they don't have a big AoE ulti, but if you got 2 heroes, they're gonna get bound together by Grimstroke, and you've got range checking of Mineski from both the supports.
And Tavo's game right now is just not feeling good. Only near 6k net worth, but it's behind. And sure, the supports with Complexity are doing all right, but so are those in Mineski. And they're not able, if you look at the vision, right? No traps, no wards on Mineski's side of the jungle. That was a key component of their victory, and it's just not something they've been able to get done. And they have to try and get aggressive on the map, slow down Mineski's pace, and just ability to outfarm. We can see even in the stagnant game, it was 3k after the tower died. Now all of a sudden Mineski 4k ahead. They're farming faster. It's just the nature of the lineup.
They're prepping Z-Freak Okay, he hits hard. He's going to go back for the Nether Strike. Moon needs to jump right now. The back into run just long enough, and Z-Freak secures it with a 17.
That was a huge kill. 2K gold swing off of it.
520 golden for Z-Freak, and that's going to help him actually finish up the Spirit Vessel, because he was having to go the hard road and buy this up.
And Cole, they're getting to a point. Their team fight's formidable. They're going to have Mech, they've got Vlad's, but there's a Grimstroke Doom here with the Blink. If they get the Soulbind off, it's a double Doom for sure.
As a Blink reveal too. Arcane Boots. Okay, Tavo, careful. And there's your first jump. Z-Freak looking for the retreat back out again. Into the movement speed. Have they got a slow? They have anything? No, they don't.
But look at what Mineski's doing. Look, Io Morphling, their bottom lane. No desire to engage, and they're going to control these two bottom bounty runes, whereas Mineski, they can still posture around the one on top, because if you fight them, there's always the threat of the relocate, a storm TP, and boom, they're fine.
Yep. Well, here's your charge again. Z-Freak wants to go in. He's got a lot of damage to give. Doesn't have another strike, however, so he's holding it back. And here's your Wraith Fire Blast. A lot of players from Complexity. And they'll easily be able to take out the Tier 1 tower. Fortification will only delay them.
Well, mid lane, you see Limp, he's got the Deso, yep, right into
Grouping around Roshan.
They need to make this happen. And keep in mind, the damage output of Complexity is still high. The wall is huge. If you can get a Morph illusion, all of a sudden Complexity gets spooky. They've got more auras, they've got more damage amplification, and the Wraith King TA right now will hit hard if the core makes a track.
KP instantly jumps in, now Storm into the pit. Who's going to get the agency? Well, picked up just yet, now it's in the hands of Blim. KP so low on life, trying to run himself back out with the Crimson Guard. Maybe he's got enough life for the TA trap. Back and back in, all into the wall that Ajit is fighting from inside the pit. I will die and Doom will fight back to keep this fight going on. Limp, he's able to be protected, keeping that Aegis Immortal in their hands, and also Moon is actually out of mana. He doesn't do much more now than 3-4-3. He's the only casualty of war. This is a great fight for Complexity.
Oh, for sure. It's because the Doom went off on the Wraith King. Not only was it a single usage, but it's on the worst hero to Doom. He's still got the Radiance ticking, and he just respawns after he finally goes down. I like the decision from Mineski to try and take that engagement, but they needed better target selection, and because Ninja Boogie had already died, the big threat of the Double Doom was gone, so it's just not an ideal fight location.
And they keep the pressure up. You do not want to back off, so KP's the big target, and when I say big, I mean big. He's very hard to kill off, but he's still possible. 73 seconds, remember, he fought back after that fight. Here comes the rest of Mineski. Over towards Z-Freak, Storm, long jump, Z-Freak charging out, actually bashes Moon on the retreat. The Inkwell will be wasted. Storm now out of mana. He's totally out of mana. Z-Freak will run in. They get the Soulbind out at least, but Ninja Boogie's the primary one being targeted. You'll probably lose the TA. No, they've actually broken free of the Dead Wife. Moving forward on a Raging Potato. He'll end up popping the way for Refraction will end up protecting him. And in Complexity, they are charging through up to Tier 2 tower to kill a Vajit and put everybody but Storm into the grave. Questions shall be asked at this moment.
That's the kind of, like, they just gave Cole a huge lead in the game, and that's the threat of the draft. They have so many auras. They've got the Ursa for the attack speed, the Vlads, the Greaves, and with the Radiance timing, like, the damage output of these two cores in conjunction is insane. What are you doing there? Doom is dead with no buyback for 50 seconds, and you're chasing after a hero that has Aegis? They just lost the Rex.
Yep, Storm trying to do something about it. Jumping in, Moon burning all that mana again just to try and slow things up, but it's happened. The top melee and range is gone. They won't push for anything more because they have to still claim the outer towers on the mid and the bot lane. But Complexity, it feels like they're now back in their timing zone, and Mineski kind of gave them the loan to get there.
And now they just camp the jungle. Now you have this lead. Complexity can just constantly look for fights. Mineski are no longer in a position to play this cat and mouse game. They should have continued to farm. Like, they didn't have the Scotty on Ajit finish. He switched it up for a Manta Rush now, but you know, Lincoln's on a Morph and Storm with Kaya soon to have a Bloodstone. Like, these are not items that need fight. Complexity had Blink Radiance, Blink Death, and like, they tasted blood, and you just swam at them. It just, all right, Limp still with Aegis, going BKB next. Once he picks up that item, there will be nothing these Mineski supports can do to survive the moment they get charged by Z-Freak, who, with that max Bulldoze, he has so much status resist. 70% bonus. He just charges through and is unstunnable as he sticks on one of these backliners. They're going to now smoke, try and catch Mineski playing in their jungle.
The really funny thing is, though, we were sitting here saying Mineski are in control because Complexity were behind in their item timing, behind in their levels, and behind in their presence. Raging Potato's dead.
Yep.
And they're instantly moving on. Look at Z-Freak. Surged up. He knows he can just keep going for different targets and getting Spirit Vessel charges. Archit charges his way out. Nether Strike just out of range. Now trigger the Lincoln Sphere from 343's Penitence, but the pressure is said to be applied to the Tier 1 tower. You don't need a creep wave for that.
Yep. And great job. And once you have a Shadow Blade on Z-Freak, it gets a lot harder for the Storm, really for anyone to play the game, because he's going to be able to stun them for 5 seconds out of nowhere. The Surge is moving him forwards at ludicrous speed. Not much Mineski can do because the one weakness of the draft, of course, not many methods of acquiring vision unless they're in a stable position in the game. They aren't anymore. And oh my God.
He's down to half life with just only the first hit with Spirit Vessel. You know, there's no extra healing. Ajit comes forward as well, but now Limp looking for his own fight. Morphling, this is now his time to stand. And Storm Spirit jumps in, he pulls back into the wall. Looking for the extra ability. Z-Freak jumping in, making sure Iron's gone out of it, but with the Soulbind. And Ajit clips up. He's in the right position because now from up here, he can just keep the attack going. Complexity can't reach him. They'll break the Accuracy Mortal on TA. It only had a couple of seconds left anyway. And maybe the wave falls down. Ajit right on top of Limp. The charge actually gets secondary back, but there is the back line. Looks for the kill first over on the KP. Then over towards Ajit. And these Spirit Vessels make it impossible for Neski to heal. An Ultra Kill for Miracle. And he wants to finish the set. The Storm is back at base. Instead, take the objective-based gaming. Tier 2s, Tier 3s. Storm's coming out again. Anyone going to grab?
Yeah, you can lift it. No, he's just trying to kill the creep wave, but they lift the creeps, which means another axe will most likely fall. They would have had them from the top lane anyway.
He's got no TP. He can get the 25-minute runes, but it looks like they're giving up on the bottom lane of Rax. Not enough people alive. This has escalated so quickly in just the last 5 minutes. Complexity have just got a stranglehold on Mineski.
This is the scary part about the cold draft, where you make a couple mistakes.
Can he actually get away with this? He's looking to kill off Z-Freak. Z-Freak is insanely tanky, however. 2K, but it will be enough. Moon plays around him. A huge hit to get, but you've still lost your bottom lane of Rax, so it feels like just a Bloodstone charge. Yay. Seems good.
Yeah, you're totally cool with that recall, and that's these drafts that threaten buildings. We saw it with Alliance yesterday. You can't make as many mistakes. You took one bad fight in this game, really, as Mineski, and Cole took a Rax, and all of a sudden had a dominating lead. It just, that's how it goes when you have the structure damage of a Wraith King, of a Chen, of a TA. It's just too much to handle. Mineski needed this game to last much longer, but took fights too early. What happened?
We see Miracle just bouncing around inside of his chair. Yeah, we're cool. We're cool. Everything's fine. Let's not worry about it. Let's just get back in the game. Only 2 side lane racks down. It's nice.
Yeah, it's Complexity's game now. They just have to execute, get the next Roche. BKB on the TA is active, and AC on Miracle. It's just a spooky amount of physical damage that they offer. You even have the extra Blightstone on 343. I love that. Just to give, now Medallion. Represents so much minus armor. 5 from Wraith King, 7 from Deso, 8 from Meld.
It just lets everybody stand so strong on the front lines. But if Miracle can be just that beast for Complexity, like, what is Mineski meant to do? Moon jumps in. He tries to clean up the creep wave. Ajit will now also arrive. Great Fire Blast. Actually managed to trigger quickly on the Lincoln Sphere, but Storm Spirit is the primary target. Z-Freak pushing it back. Limp will get the nuke, and the Dark Sea Wall comes down, instantly getting a copy of that Morphling, but they won't care whether they all the damage in the wall. KP can't do anywhere near enough. Even if he does get the double Doom off, they're just in the ground fighting. So Storm Spirit into the back line, thinking now he can get some rebuttal into Limp, trying to kill off the Templar Assassin. The Doom still doing the ticking. His Raging Potato needs to get the extra life. Moon has to bow back out. He's out of mana and very low out of life. The Complexity, they've only lost the TA. They actually tanked through that entire initiation. They tanked through the double doom. They tanked through the combination of Mineski, and they're still kicking.
You can see how if this game went differently, Mineski would be in a position to take fights because the TA BKB goes down after the doom. Like, you negate a core's ability to do anything. But they're going straight for the way. He's just dead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
If Raging Potato had a really good game, they'll be looking good. But now, silence over on Wraith King. He's still got reincarnation, so even if Mineski do bring him down, he'll just be straight back up again.
Yeah. 2 times Skeletons spawn Talon as well, so the push will be even scarier. Roche spawning in 2 seconds. That'll be Complexity's next move. There's no Doom anymore, so we can expect them to be able to do that almost for free. And love Wraith King as a hero concept because once you get this strong, look how aggressive he can play. What are you going to do? He has to be incarnate. He's going to kill.
Well, they can kill him secondary time, but Tavo's arrived. Moon being charged in. Spirit Breaker! Oh,
He's in real trouble. He's down for the count. No buyback available. And this may just be the game. Storm's out for 100 seconds too. KP is the last man standing. He'll get one quick hit, but Miracle's good to fight.
He's going to get the slow.
Yeah, with the reincarnation triggering, and Tavo keeps running forward. The blink is there. He moves to the east, trying to wrap around the back of the Ancient, but Complexity hot on the tail with the Raise Fire Blast. KP knows he can't tank through this. Tavo's just trying to get the body block off, but KP will die with the extra crit. Oh boy, I think game one really does belong to Complexity. They just need to take mid lane now, and they got 70-second window while Storm is down to do it.
It all starts with the Roach fight and Complexity. They get the edge, and since then they've just taken the game. Every fight's been decisive. Not much Mineski can do in the way of team fight. If Complexity just walks through his 5 heroes with all these auras stacked up, all the minus armor, there's nothing you can do.
They're going to try and fight without the Storm Spirit. It's the only reason you have the buyback coming in for the Doombringer right now. But who's the primary target? Wraith King? He's not the one you're looking for. Protected by Lotus Orb. Miracle's already taken the range racks, and they're backing up.
Yep,
Look towards next Roshan. He's up and running.
And bounty runes as well have spawned. There's no need to do anything crazy if you're Complexity. The Wolf Creep now coming out. Really just want to take stock. You know, Cole understanding the draft. You look at the items. You look at what they've got. Wolf Creep, Greaves, a Vessel, an AC, Deso, Vlad, Medallion, even a Lotus Orb for some counteracting of really, like, I guess you start on whoever gets soulbound, somebody's going to get doomed, Doom is going to doom himself.
Yeah.
And just excellent play. The Wolf representing 30% bonus damage is something OG popularized, but really everybody knows this, you know, damage amplification, stacking, plus minus armor equals
win.
DPS. It's all about being on top of the meters. I learned that thanks to a different game that Rich could tell you about. And now it's just regroup. You got Aegis, you got Cheese, as you said. No rush, but Complexity, they just need one more fight.
Yeah. And Mineski will give it to them, and they'll give it to them under their tier 4 towers. That's the only place they can take it. A smoke up. The pressure is coming from Complexity. But at this point, all Storm can do is try and cut the wave.
Yeah.
Burns a TP every time he does it too.
I forgot Divine Favor also is giving 20% heal increase. That counts lifesteal. That counts the Greaves, the Chen heal. So much sustain on Complexity. This is one of the changes in the C patch that came out just before. I also like Miracle. He keeps turning on and off his Radiance, hoping that Ajit's going to morph him with it down, and then it'll no longer be a tool for him to use.
One little piece.
Yeah.
And,
one of the most improved players this season, in my opinion. I'm not going to lie. When Miracle first started playing for Complexity, I was like, Zach, really? Like, really? But 6 months later, he's, I think, become a very real part of the roster. That's why he's still on it, of course. But just a good player, and he's really embraced that hard one-position role that I think this patch requires you to play if you're going to play that carry role.
Well, he can be looking good, but it's the double damage and the full Daedalus over on the Templar Assassin that is probably going to make Limp the superstar of this next fight. It's plus 383 damage, if I saw correct. It's very, very high, so someone's going to get popped. And he's looking for his target. They get soulbound together. KP jumps in pretty deep. So, well, doesn't matter when the Doom gets off once again. They just help reflect. Moon is back in. They force the back, but Moon just so little of life. He almost got hit by the side blades down as well, but GG is called. Mineski will admit defeat. Complexity. They had the opportunity given to them by Mineski, and boy, did they take it.
And I'm not taking it away from them. They thought they played great. They executed their draft. Sure, there were a couple mistakes. I thought that they had lost control of the game.
Yeah.
But after the Roche fight, you know, forced a buyback on KP. His game was ruined. After that, he die-backed in the jungle, and then Mineski go for that.
había visto una cría humana. Es tan pequeño.
Moonmeander Troll and a Zephyr Centaur, which means it is a Dendy Rubik. He's going to chew up another mango. Back up in top, though. Moonmeander might be in a bit of trouble. The stun's actually going to go out on the Centaur. They're looking for the right click. Zephyr's going to be in a bit of trouble. There's the first blood. It's really hard because there's an ability called Whirling Blades, isn't there? No, Wild Axes. Not Whirling Blades? Wonder where that comes from. Mina will get her 6 stolen there. 6, I mean, it's level 6. The Centaur stops cleaning up. Dendy will get that kill, no problem. Level 6 up for the Bat Rider now. I don't think you'd go for the lasso this early. They'll just...
Radiant team ban.
Mineski's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban.
Lotion!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Mineski's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban.
Mineski's turn
Radiant
to ban.
team pick.
Mineski's turn to pick.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Mineski's turn
Radiant
to pick.
team.
Warlock. Point the way.
Radiant team ban.
Dark Seer.
Mineski's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban.
Mineski's turn to ban.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Mineski's turn
Radiant
to pick.
team pick.
Enchantress.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Templar Assassin.
You may now select your heroes. Ten seconds remaining.
Syndrome, we know Carl's phone number is kept secret and under wraps because it is highly sought after. But this could be a 2-0. This really could be a 2-0.
I think it could. If there was a series to do it, it would be this one.
Yeah, the draft looks real good for complexity, and maybe we don't start there. Maybe we start with Mineski. They've gone for the Warlock. They've gone for their combination. A lot of their heroes do sync with the Warlock, but what's the overall plan that they're looking at? Like when the coach walks off the stage and says, "You know what, guys, we're gonna win, and this is how we're gonna win." What's that? What's that communication?
Play around your team fighting well. TA gets ahead. You're able to with complexity's aggression. Mm-hmm. My concern is I look at the Cole lineup and I don't see anything that Sorry. Complexity has tools to deal with everything they've got.
Yep.
You've got the Oracle, can cleanse off the Fatal Bonds. Eventually Darkseer gets Greaves. Ursa Ult does the same.
Yep.
You have a full, all-in lineup. And Tavo's Darkseer is his best hero. I'm just shocked he got it again. Now they're even going to get vision of this ward thanks to this early 5-man smoke. And Moon, he's going to maybe break it. He does.
Yeah, he breaks everybody.
Yeah, but it's just concerning because it's the same with Moon.
Oh,
where
they're going to get the Observer Ward as well.
They give it to Z-Freak so he can get boots faster. Buys another sentry. Yeah, it's just tough because Moon, you have Ion Shell. There's the Leshrac Edict. There's so many methods of dealing with the refraction. It's like the BKB timing that he needs before he can actually stand fights. Mm-hmm. And there's no real save on Mineski like the Oracle of Cole.
That's actually KP playing the Warlock as well.
Wait, what?
It's KP on Warlock. Because at the end of the draft, I said to you, I actually said halfway through the draft, you know what, KP may play the Enchantress. It's something he's not unfamiliar with. He knows how to do this. You can play that DPS, but we also saw earlier today that he's actually playing a 3-position Warlock.
I've seen this before. I remember Zach actually telling me about they were scrimming, I think it was somebody in Mumbai, and they went for this Ench support. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, he went Slide of Fist to begin with, and Z-Freak's going to stay on top of him. It costs him nothing just to keep walking up. But it means he has Slide level 1. Yeah. There's no protection for this Ember. And look, this is what you do. And Ninja Boogie's going to come up here, and I think he'll... Okay. What does he do? You do that. So you remove the Ion Shell. That's the whole point, is that you just remove the Ion Shell. The concern that I have is,
does that matter? Because eventually you're going to have two heroes on, you can only get rid of the one, and then you're a hero with like 500 HP, and into the mid-game, there's so much magic damage, and there's so much pace that Complexity can play with.
It's also very interesting to see that 343 is committing a lot of time just to ensure that Moon's not going to have the easier start in the mid lane. This does leave Ursa in a bit of a solo role on the bottom, but now he rotates off. So just trying to change the balance of the mid lane first, and then help the Ursa to get his farm.
It's because TA needs to win the first couple waves to dominate the Lesh. If Lesh can do all right until level 3, it becomes even because you just start spamming. You get a bottle and you push out the wave.
Sorry, before the whole fight began, like we were talking through the Warlock thing and like how that's meant to as a 3 position.
I mean, theoretically, it's a great hero, right? You have excellent talents. You love levels. You're one of the more level-dependent heroes in Dota 2. And maybe they just felt like if it was support, it would just get ran at. It makes sense because something that they lacked in the previous game was that aura hero item, or aura item hero.
Yeah.
Theoretically, that could have been the Pango, but it just does seem better suited to be a 4. I honestly don't know. We haven't seen it before for a reason, right? And Moon now taking a ton of Edict damage mid.
Maybe they also thought Limp. Oh, no, dude, you're taking damage from the tower. You need to change that off real quick. Attack Limp! Careful!
Yeah.
That tower did not switch aggro.
Got a little distracted because of the
courier.
Yeah, he'll lose some CS for that. Unfortunately, 2 denies. And now, oof.
And he gets hit by the Hadouken creep. Yeah. It's just interesting. Maybe they also thought Enchantress needed to have more of an influence across the map. You can't do that by putting her in a 3 role.
I will say, though, this is looking good for Mineski so far. We've seen this a lot. Whenever you see a Dark Seer, the enemy safe laner often free farms. Ember Spirit, one of the better heroes in this game to do that. And the harassment cut from...
Yeah, they're coming again. Slide up his series. That's going to be first blood. Z-Freak, he's down. Has he got another blast? One more attack. Ninja Boogie was able to see him, and Z-Freak goes.
He got one. He was just in time before he went down, so I'll have those as he TPs back up. But yeah, I mean, this is cool because you have Ajit with the free game now, already level 4, and mid lane, TA's winning. You're winning all your lanes if you're Mineski, and if there's a way to win games of Dota, that's it.
Yeah, win all 3 lanes and you can win the game of Dota. Sure, why not?
And Complexity, we saw what they just did in that first game. They want to do the exact same thing here. Get ahead, stay ahead, rush around the map, and just kill Mineski's squishy heroes over and over.
It's kind of funny too, because like it always seems to be this combination that you give to like Z-Freak. Like it's going to take a big strengthy core as a support that's able to almost function as a core. Just surge him in, iron shell him up, close the distance, and have a stun when you do so. Less global because obviously it's Burrow Strike versus Charge.
Dude, Ninja Boogie, it's so good to have this hard camp. I'm surprised they didn't block it on Complexity because not only is the Satyr great, but then you get this mana burn creep and he just spams it on Tavo and Z-Freak, and they're no longer able to play aggressive in the lane. It's 100 mana burn on a 18-second cooldown. Very effective at zoning, and it allows you to play on this 1-on-2 situation and actually outduel the combination.
Ninja Boogie does still need some levels. He's still a level 1 Enchantress, and like 1/3 of that level 1. Because he just can't stand in the lane. That means all of it is going the way of the Ember.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's solo XP on one of the most level-dependent cores in Dota 2. It is a dream for Mineski, and it gives them that playmaker they were missing in the first game, where it was much more about team fighting.
Mid lane, Burrow Strike comes in. Limp has a follow-up stun, try and chain it perfectly with the Edict that burns through the refraction charges, but that one creep thing a little bit too close. Moon finds some time to actually kill Z-Freak. He'll still lose his life to Limp, however.
That was Limp's mistake. He waited to stun and then actually stunned the refraction, so he wasn't able to get any damage off it. Thus, he was able to turn around for a counter kill. Top lane, that's the Enchantress. You purge off the Surge as well.
And it's lower cooldown as well, right? So it's even more frequent. That came recently.
And the bottom, you can see the Pango though against Ursa. This is a matchup I forgot about. As the game continues, you know, a 5-second disarm is no laughing matter. No longer silences, so it'll almost always disarm on the swashbuckle. Plus, you have the ability to get away from the Ursa. Limp's coming in. Then that's the downside of the Enchantress. You die real fast to these heroes.
Yeah, Lestrak doesn't need to actually hit you. Miracle, disarm, making it impossible to get the hit into KP to finish the job. It means Ragey Potato will cop a lot of damage himself. It's for the 5-minute shrine, and that's why you're seeing Miracle committing in. He needs 2 more hits to kill off. He's going for both of them. Miracle still under the tower, will end up falling down. Ragey Potato get the solo experience for it. I don't know if you're really happy trading your 1 for your 3-ish.
A third Satyr camp for Ninja Boogie up top. This is the dream. Mid lane, hard free farm by Moon. This is the TA advantage. I think TA Wraith King after this tournament are going to jump up a couple tiers in most meta, not predictions, but just
priorities.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just, there's so much damage. They press towers, they farm really efficiently, and it just feels like too good. It's too strong, particularly the TA in the laning phase.
He just spread that with 3 swipes, swashbuckle away, but Oracle stuck with you.
Yeah. Ajit, though, already level 6, nearly 7. Whereas the top lane and Complexity are both level 4 and 3. That's actually insane. Like, Ajit is having the greatest game. And he's even skipped Flame Guard, which makes his hero even more valuable at this point in the game. Because he plays so aggressive.
He's also, like, keeping his distance, right? Like,
yeah. You don't have to even be in the face of the Ion Shells.
Well, that's the kiting. Like that's Ursa being controlled, is Limp unable to move forward and get that big damage output that he wants by staying on top of the enemy hero.
Yep.
KP out way too far. Easy pickup. That's just the observer that knows that he's alone.
Yep, but that's the one thing that Cole have going with him right now. Bottom lane, Miracle Ursa is crushing one of his signatures. And Mineski have to deal with it other than the TA later on. Obviously, the disarm from Pango will be annoying. You do have a lot of disables, but you know, at the end of the day, Miracle with an Ion Shell and a surge forwards, like you're gonna need to flee. Nobody can go toe-to-toe with him, and that's
they're going up to Tavo. Spirit forward with the chase into Boogie as day. He's got the Hadouken flying in. It will connect, but Tavo has just enough life. That courier is saying, please attack me and allow Limp to go more further in. He needs the stun. He got it onto Ninja Boogie. The Pulse Nova will burn through him and then move on to Ajit. Still spirits available, but won't be required to use them.
Surprised they didn't look to go for the Ember there, even just to apply some pressure.
Potato.
Spirit.
What the hell was that Curry doing? It feels like they're trying to get him to turn around. But it was probably just missed micro at the end of the day. Rotation around under the cover of smoke. Limp and Z-Freak looking to keep that momentum going. Especially if they can get on mid, but they won't find mid. They'll find Ninja Boogie. Welcome on back, Enchantress. Another Burrow Strike and more damage, and this will be yet another kill for Limp, making his 4th out of the 7 of Complexity.
And level of 4 points in Edict now. It's huge. Means that he'll be able to apply tons of tower pressure and Complexity. It's important that they're able to get that done. It's a similar concept to the previous play around mobility and their ability to stay on map. Next to no long cooldowns on the squad. They just want to get aggressive and do exactly this. Make rotations, pressure towers, make Mineski react to them instead of being able to set up those big team fights with Pango and Warlock.
Forcing fortification so hard. Z-Freak still skipping around the back lines. Raging Potato and Moon will have to defend together.
A Javelin already. No boots. Orb of Venom Javelin on Raging Potato.
Sure. Z-Freak's taking their camps. Darkseer is still getting his own thumb up on top. He came close to death just previously, but at least ensuring that Ember Spirit's not adding any pressure towards the tower. That is where Ember does not really work. He cleans up the wave. It doesn't attack directly into tier 1s. Nowhere near as effective as like Leshrac, because he's just the king of that. Moon. Nice melt dodge, easy. There they go. Spirit jump in. A little bit too far around, and the board time Ninja Boogie to come in with 1 stun, 2 stun. Do that math.
Yeah, you gotta look for Ajit to get more involved. I think I'm surprised he didn't go for a bottle, so he doesn't have that much mana sustain. I'd like to see him play with his teleport more. You can get so aggressive on Complexity's next movement. You want to ensure they don't get any free towers, and that's exactly what Cole are going to look to do here as they continue to rotate around the map.
They're just sitting on top of that triple stack of Ancients.
Yeah.
Like, it's how long until someone does want to commit? How long until the TA needs to move up? And TA, when he Sideblade attacked to deny the ward, it had actually hit Z-Freak up the hill, letting him know that like someone was up there. And here we go again from Mineski. 1 dive is never enough. This time Tavo's a little bit slower. Now 1 creep is able to stay alive with the Ion Shell, so he's happy for that.
And Ajit did buy a bottle, as I'd hoped, because he wants to be able to stay on map. He's got to be the playmaker, and you're the guy that's going to counter-initiate. And Complexity is definitely going to look to initiate. Let's see, this might be an engagement top. It's difficult, though, for Mineski. The real lack of natural tower push. Sure, KP and Raging Potato are here, so you can secure the tower. It's just going to take a while. And Complexity, you can get a trade-off much easier because you just have to pop Edict. There you go.
Templar Assassin looks like she's the next primary target. You fly forward, Moon. It's so hard to lock him down unless Zephyr can close the distance without Darkseer giving that initiation, that speed forward. It just seems so hard.
Miracle took the bottom tower by himself. Mineski are still top trying to take it.
He's got so much damage. Oracle does have the save, but they have to back. KP gets a feather bounce off. There's your double slider fist searing chain.
Yep.
And they just break Z-Freak free instantly.
Exactly. And everything on Mineski, almost all their damage except for the meld, is dispellable. And that's the danger of the lineup, where if you can't get on top of 3-4-3, I don't see how you win fights. They need the Ember Spirit to be able to do that, the Pangolier to roll forwards, but the problem they have is that I feel like they're team fight based, whereas Complexity, they love playing just fast around the map. They're just going to run at you.
Tava on the run back out. Ajit, it was so smart of him. He started with the slider fist, did not burn the searing chain, so he could still get the control of Tava when he tried to run out. And now, another slider fist, trying to dodge, but Miracle's arrived. The Centaur stun buys the time for the defensive Spirit jump away.
And look at all of a sudden, 4 heroes in Complexity up top. Z-Freak just trying to farm middle. Has level 7 now, maxed out Sandstorm. He'll just go to the off lane.
Smoke up. Mineski gonna try and fight this. And, well, Miracle already saying hello for a moment, enchanted up. No extra swings for him, but Raging Potato, he's got Rolling Thunder, he's got Swashbuckle, will get him inside the pit. And away to safety.
No boots still. But Miracle's given up. He knows he can roll away if necessary.
The stack has started.
Z-Freak's just trying to camp it. Won't be able to do anything about it, though. Only a triple stack, though, for Moon. And it's also being taken 3 minutes later than Limp was able to do his in the previous game.
Well, Z-Freak, do you think you could take one of these?
Regeneration.
I'm just trying to be annoying. Not much going on now. You can see, though, Cole constantly poking and prodding, trying to find an area of the map where he can get aggro. Roll forwards from Raging Potato. Be careful, but as you can see, Miracle immediately going to get cleansed off.
And he's really preparing for the late game. Hannah Midas, Ursa, after having the drums phase boots. Attack speed or not, you'll accept it from Limp. Will at least allow his initiation. And they're giving a lot of space to Z-Freak. Like, trying to ensure this... well, is it going to be Blink Dagger you want to see over on the SK to begin with, getting to the front lines, or is there something else a little bit more critical? I don't know if you're like getting into the back lines of Mineski is easy enough with a Blink.
I don't think it's necessary. I feel like Cole's confident to be able to scale just because of the matchup Oracle has against the Mineski lineup, where both Ember and Warlock are heavily punished by the cleanse. Also, just so people are aware, the mechanic that Enchantress and Oracle have in this game is Dispel, right? They both Dispel. A Purge is an offensive Dispel, whereas Cleanse is a defensive Dispel. This is terminology that every player uses, well, at least is aware of. So please don't tweet at me.
Wonderful. Thank you for the dictionary.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
Nice Dire Observe Warden Sentry, seeing Complexity shrining up and getting ready for their own fight, and that was really paying dividends. And we'll even see the smoke. So Mineski, they're already beginning to back up. There are two maybe that hasn't backed up the whole way. The surge the tier 1 tower. Miracle just runs forward. He breaks through with the enrage. Goes for KP. Rock will drop down. Miracle being body blocked up by the column, so he couldn't keep the chase going. And the double disarm into Limp and 3-4-3. So Rolling Thunder, the fatal bond kicks him so hard. Complexity, they have to retreat. Tavo back onto the tier 1 tower. Spirit jump forward. No, Argent are holding it for the moment. He'll get the side of fist searing chains over on 2. The jump forward. It comes from Raging Potato. Another disarm. This one's on the Dangy, but he's in a little bit too deep under the pulse over of Limp through the box wall. He's in so deep. Goes up to Miracle. The fire strike finds the time. Miracle's going to go down. The Spirit jumps back up, but he's underneath the tier 1 tower. Thanks to Z-Freak's movement speed, they won't find Argent straight away. They're looking to kill off the golem. They're taking the tier 1 tower. They're able to do so, which will mean a denial of the tier 1 tower. And Mineski need to pull out. That was way too deep. Too early.
That was a 4-on-5, though. Ninja Boogie was top. He'll actually take out that tier 1. The deny hurts, but still an even split. Concern I have for Mineski is that we'll see. There's a Midas rush on KP. He's already picked it up, even though he's only level 7. So he'll scale. Raging Potato with Gemlin. He's only level 7. He'll scale.
Just run at him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the Yule Scepter yet, but with this kill, he'll have the money for it.
I love the decision to go phase boots here, just because it helps his early laning phase, and to have that little bit of armor plus 6 negates the TA's ability to just crush you with the physical damage. The slight as well will do a ton if you're going that typical like Arcane's Yule's Rush on Lesh. You're just too squishy. There was a Blink Rush on Moon as well. Same style as Limp. Did come out a bit later, and really over-blinking in that previous engagement leading to his death. Otherwise, it would have been a much better fight from Mineski, and they probably secured the last hit on the tower.
And now they got to worry about their own tier 1 tower. I feel like this tower's been fortified 3 times now to protect it. Well, because the 2 side lanes went down, hence the refresh up. Yule Scepter is now over on Limp. Moon jumps forward. Limp wants to actually use the Yule Scepter aggressively in the Templar Assassin, able to connect over on the stun, but now he's in trouble. Rooted up. They'll try and break him free with the false promise. Extra life needs to be given. They've done a lot already, and where's his heal? It's not coming fast enough. Limp will not be able to survive through the false promise. He'll end up popping as Miracle. Looking for his own return at home. Hits so hard. 3-4-3 just evaporates and keeping inside the sandstorm, so no defensive refraction charge, but it won't matter when Arjit can just run forward like this. Well, side of it actually up a little bit further, too high, but it won't matter when the root holds Darkseer in position. Triple kill for Ninja Boogie. The only one to survive is Ursa.
And that's how you're going to win fights if you're Mineski. They stagger their spell usage, force the Oracle ult, but it's a fight in the river. You get a Fatal Bounce off. The Raging Potato roll forwards. Complexity just have to run away. The Ursa has to be the one initiating if you're going to be able to win engagements. And you can see Moon with that blink just crushes through whatever target he goes for once they're distracted. Really well executed. Ninja Boogie with a triple kill. Even at the hard 5, Impetus does not require items to deal as much damage as possible. It's purely based on the distance you are from the target, so.
It does feel a little rough to start though for Complexity. Like Mineski took the most of the opportunities that Limp provided. Like turning around, not using a defensive Yule Scepter, turning around to try and engage on the TA, but no one else from Complexity were looking to do that.
Yep, and real quick, check out the levels here. This is the problem for Cole. Yeah, the gold difference isn't much, but
14-14?
Yeah, and Limp just hit 12. But the problem is that Ember TA are the heroes that matter for Mineski. The rest, some sustain, a ton of team fight, but the Ember TA, if you can't take out one of these heroes at the start of the fight, Complexity are going to have a real tough time dealing with damage output, these 2 huge cores. Maelstrom on Ajit, almost a Deso on Moon, who's now just camping, hoping 3-4-3 wanders.
If he waited just a second longer, he would have had his opportunity and realizes it now. The TA trap reveals and triggers on 3-4-3.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Complexity just weren't ready. Moon's going to walk into the Ursa of Miracle, but yeah, this is not a hero you want to toe with. It's just necessary Complexity get fights like they did in the previous game. They need to be the aggressors. They need to go beeline forwards with an Ion Shelled Ursa, try and get to the Mineski backline, force the rock defensively like they did in that initial team fight around the mid-tier 1. But if Mineski can just style, look, 5 heroes all spread out around the map, presence in every lane, Complexity, you're not feeling confident to make a move towards anywhere.
Yeah, because even when you make the move, you're going to get kited out.
Yeah.
Either you're coming onto the Warlock rock, but I like the itemization from Enchantress. Ninja Boogie building in for the 4-star, putting all that hard-earned money from the side lanes into that. Then you've got Swashbuckle to get the Pango out. You've got Root. You've got TA traps, and it feels like Miracle. No matter how many break frees he's got, be it in Rage or be it BKB, he won't be able to keep up with the target he's looking to kill. And now he walks in to be that target. Jit, and get the quick little slow, enchanting up Miracle. He's protected for the moment thanks to Enrage, but now it's going to wear off. Another Searing Chains with the follow-up stuns. And Jit will claim the kill, and 42 seconds on the sideline for Miracle. Opens up Roshan.
Pango's damage output has been insane thus far in the game. I mean, every time he swashbuckles, it feels like half somebody's health disappears. The team fight he adds as well. As you said, Roche open, they have the Deso 19 minutes in. And it's just near impossible now, it feels, for Complexity to take fights. You can't run into this lineup of Mineski any longer.
The Strike Illusion, they're smoking up Complexity.
They've got it coming, but
yeah, game 1, they swung the momentum around by taking a great fight around Roshan. They're going to wrap around the rear. Who are they going to find? There's a root down in mid. Roshan's already been taken into the hands of Moon, so the TA has that secondary life, and they're looking for a fight. As Raging Potato looks to create space.
They just called for out. They know they can't take this engagement. Z-Freak had a beat on KP.
The Observer Sentry sees him. He's revealed. He'll get the blink off. And he's out of dust, out of the effect of dust too.
Yeah, you just can't fight there because KP is all the way in the back, fighting around Roche in this game, much better from Mineski. They have the Warlock, they have the Pango. How are you supposed to run into a choke point? It's Cole. They need to try and find Mineski split around the map and
coming in after that opportunity. Battle around the 20-minute rune, and maybe they can bring it this is a huge kill to claim. TP support is coming thick and fast from Mineski, and Complexity are already out. The hit and run they tried to start this game off with, now successful, and they may get another one. Defensive spirit up on the hill, Z-Freak's waiting for it, but there is no way to follow up. And in fact, Z-Freak's under the Observer and Sentry, so Ajit again feeling confident. He's got his own underneath 2 different sentries. Z-Freak will go for the Burrow Strike, but double spirit, and hello! No, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. That was Ajit's kill.
Yeah, a bit of misplay there from Z-Freak. Should have probably just blinked away immediately, but trying to get cheeky and annoy the Ajit Ember. I'm trying to see, like, there's a Midas on Miracle, there's a Midas on Warlock. The BKB on Miracle, I think, is the real X factor. That will enable him to be surge forwards and just ignore Mineski's lineup effectively, just charge towards the Ench, towards the Warlock. You need to take out those heroes of your Complexity to start an engagement off if you want to win it. But Mineski, same deal, where they're targeting Limp, the Oracle. It's much easier for them to do so because of that high mobility on their cores. Ember with an Arcane Rune just now fading.
God, defensive observers and sentries need to come up on that hillside. If Complexity... Mineski fighting. And now side of fifth, 3-4-3 gets clipped by it, but there is no control just yet until the root goes onto Ajit. Z-Freak blow-up stun. And they move forward with the goal! Everyone's thinking with the fatal bond! This is huge! Complexity! They're going to evaporate. They have to get back into the front. Ajit's trying to continue with this fight on. Moon jumps forward, exploding Z-Freak with the root in the back line. 3-4-3, nowhere to go. Limp is being protected by the false promise, but it only lasts until now. The Ursa totally stranded. TA trap slowing down Tavo. Raging Potato for once is actually missing a swashbuckle. The TA traps, any kind of slow, any kind of control. Tavo's still got that high movement speed, but the root, Ajit can keep up with him. Raging Potato jumps in with a shield crush, killing off Tavo, but it's actually Ajit who gets the kill. My God, Mineski, their positioning is so good.
Yeah, I love this lineup. When you see it executed like this, it just makes total sense. Complexity, they're trying to run at you, pincer you, like just swarm, right?
Yep.
You have an equal number of these cheap disables. Ember with the Searing Chains talent, 4-second stun every 8 seconds on potentially 2 targets. You get the swashbuckles, TA with the blink belt, and then all the team fight.
What is he doing here?
There's
4 heroes around him. He just pushed up the mid lane, and Ninja Boogie will claim his kill.
And Limp's too squishy. 1,200 health. Like, he's just getting spammed. He yields himself defensively, sure, sometime in the fight, but there's always going to be a follow-up from Mineski.
You see the facial expression. He's like, what was...
Yeah.
How do you actually handle that as a player as well? Like, you know you get completely caught out. Your team is starting to crumble under the pressure of Mineski. Yep. And the panel was even saying at the very beginning, it's like, I'm trying to understand how Mineski makes... gets picked. Like, it's just, it's the control. It is a very different hero.
Same.
let me just make my meme.
Yeah, it's fine.
Everyone loves Chen. No one likes Enchantress.
KP's got ag. Turns the
Will arrive, a Bloodstone charge and buy some space, but if you get fatally bonded, like what happened in the last fight, then it's kind of already over. Like no matter how much regen you've got, it's not going to get you through it. Not unless every single dispel is able to hit fast on these heroes.
And now we've got looks like the Ags on the Ember. KP's is up and running as well, and Mineski are ready to roll. I expect them, cause they can just poke so well. Spam the spike chain, blink melt, back away, Pango swashbuckle. One hero is going to be at half HP or dead. If you want to engage complexity, somebody's going to be low, and if not, to do what you're doing here, where Mineski slowly whittle down your objective and inevitably clear it out.
Alright, you brought Dust for this exact reason to catch you freak out in the side lane. He's still got a spirit in mid lane he can jump over to, so cleaning out the side lane means he can still come back.
And we can expect him to do that momentarily, I believe. Still great vision for Mineski, so aggressive. You're just keeping Cole in the crease of their base. Now you're going to have Pangolier teleporting top. He'll handle that wave as they just try and starve Cole, wait for the next Roche. That'll most likely be their opportunity to look for a fight to take the game.
Man, how long can Z-Freak do this? Okay. I'll have to wrap around a long way.
And that's the thing, because they don't have those tools to get to the back line, they need to find a sneak attack. They
Look
have
at
to just...
the line is around. They want to basically vent to the north wall and then return back to High Garden.
Mineski have an idea.
3/3, the smoke breaks. Moon's inside of Roshan, so they know it. Quick observe ward being planted.
They're going to just go over this, aren't they?
It probably looks like it. Moon has taken almost no damage from Roshan, just burned some refraction charges, and they're wrapping around the back. Z-Freak, he'll get the Burrow strike. Oh, actually do.
now they'll casually go back in. Fatal Bond is over on Miracle as well as well. The Spider Fit Searing Chains catching out the two. It's a great disarmor control on Z-Freak. They've already got the kill. The Golem does hit the deck. Again, the Fatal Bond still on top of Miracle. The rocks from KP are doing the work. RG will help them with that labor. The Complexity are in full retreat. The back, Limp was thinking about it, so another defensive Eurostep to delay the inevitable, which is death. The debt that all men will pay, and Limp will pay it many, many times over. He'll buy back just to pay it all over again. Here's your Spirit, jump forward. Archie will be there. GG is the call. Complexity. Game 1 went their way. Meneski, however, it feels like they were always in control of Game 2.
They wouldn't know what to say, though. I mean, 5 heroes dying twice each. They did their best. They did kill the Pangolier, so that's something. But Meneski's draft at that point, just impossible to fight into. Really like how they approached the game. I love the series we've had so far. Both teams just all about fighting and finding kills. Incredible aggression. And I think if you're Cole here, you got to regroup, recognize that Meneski, they got to
¿Quién toca la peta? ¿Quién toca la peta? ¿Gofe Ángel?
Let's heat things up. 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 When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena, you tend to get burned. When you play with Lena,
Mineski's turn to ban. 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 Mineski's turn to ban.
10 seconds remaining.
Turn to ban.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Mineski's turn to pick.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Mineski's turn to pick.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. Radiant team pick.
Imba Spirit.
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 10 seconds remaining.
Imba Spirit.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 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 10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining.
¿Se lo van a llevar? ¿Y eso qué comiste sano? No, weón. Los abdominales. ¿Y eso qué comiste sano? No puedo ni echar ni sentar, weón. Los abdominales. ¿Y eso qué comiste sano? No puedo ni echar ni sentar, weón. Pero eso sí de...
Mineski's turn to pick.
Lion.
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 10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds. Radiant team pick. 5 Radiant team pick. 5 seconds. 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 Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining.
Podemos hacer esa vaina y de noche.
5 seconds remaining.
Podemos hacer esa vaina y de noche.
Marico, no puedo creerlo. Esta gente se la coge y lo va a comprar.
¿Qué cosa?
Marico, no puedo creerlo. Esta gente se la coge y lo va a comprar. No, la compré en 2.800 ahora. Y la estoy vendiendo en 3.500 en... ¿Cuánto es? La estoy vendiendo en 3.500 en... Pero no sé, es que es una vaina muy rara, es como una empresa. Pero no sé, es que es una vaina muy rara. La vendí, compro otra más barata y la armo de nuevo y la cojo una. La vendí, compro otra más barata y la armo de nuevo y la cojo una. La vendí, compro otra está ofreciendo. Aquí está ofreciendo. Está ofreciendo 1.350, 4.495. Perú qué es?
Un apellido.
Un apellido. Jovita. ¿Qué es Jovita?
¿Qué es Jovita?
Jovita aquí en Perú qué es?
Un apellido.
Jovita. Un apellido. Jovita.
¿Pero qué es
¿Qué es
Jovita?
Jovita? No es un correo. Aquí en Perú qué es?
Un apellido.
Un apellido. Jovita.
¿Pero qué es Jovita?
Pero pensé que Jovita era una empresa. Un correo.
Papá, pero ¿tú no tienes carro?
Pero pensé que Jovita.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, it's our last game of the day. Kyle, the panel has predicted in favor of Mineski, which obviously means complexity now in, right? Because our panel is never right, and if you ever try and predict anything at the start of a minor, there's always a mistake that switches the other way around. It's true, but
I have to agree with them here. I'm not a fan of the way Colt handled the second phase of this draft. They banned Bat, and then Mineski was going to go for his third pick. Emperor, which I thought was the key hero from that previous game, and it just feels like there's so much Z-Freak is going to have to get done in a game. But
against Rubik,
Enigma, yeah.
And I'm very like everyone knows I'm a big Enigma lover. I always love that big AoE ultimate when the follow-up that comes directly after. But it doesn't feel like he's ever able to get that off without giving it to Mineski.
Here's the thing though, is that complexity, because Z-Freak will probably be going for these teamfight items, if they can win their lanes, get ahead, they could run over Mineski, because their damage output is quite limited until PA comes online. Yes. The concern is just like, will that happen, right? But I could see a world where Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. Problem is, once again, Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. Problem is, once again, Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. Problem is, once again, Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. Problem is, once again, Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. Problem is, once again, Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. Problem is, once again, Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. Problem is, once again, Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. Problem is, once again, Miracle has this free game and Ajit suffers on the PA. See right now, Ninja Boogie running forwards, trying to scout the lane. Tavo's going to have to hide here, or he'll be giving away the information. Yeah, it's funny. Both teams playing mind games. Tavo's going to have to hide here, or he'll be giving away the information. Yeah, it's funny. Both.
No, still never got the vision.
They do guess right, however. It will be the Mars coming bottom. And that's because you want PA against the Lifestealer, not the Sand King under any circumstances. And Mars, very, very tough against Lifestealer, because you just do that feast damage to him, and it ignores Bulwark.
So now you get your lanes up. I really am interested to see how Limp versus Moon kind of plays out and the effects. But at the same time, bottom lane, they're also rotating around the back of the Tavo. So Tavo, a little bit risky. He hasn't leveled up. He hasn't leveled up a single thing yet. So not hiding inside the sandstorm. But KP, if he can get the spear right, can pull him out of it.
And he has the Sentry on KP as well. They are prepared for this contingency. They got the lanes they wanted. It's not bad for complexity, but it would have been very good for them to get the lanes they wanted. This is more of an equal scenario.
KP just threw the spear out after the sentry wall was like just before the sentry wall was planted. They're also rotating around the back. So totally misses the SK. The Moon already forced the salve early on. TA will have her coming out in the courier in just a bit.
That's how it goes. Very much a skill-based matchup, especially for these early levels. If TA is going to dominate, though, it would be on this first couple of waves. Since Moon is stabilized, they expect it to be more of a trade.
Should Mineski do anything about the Enigma? Like, KP just threw the spear out after the sentry wall was like just before the sentry wall was planted. They're also rotating around the back. So totally misses the SK. The Moon already forced the salve early on. TA will have her coming out in the courier in just a bit.
That's how it goes. Very much a skill-based matchup, especially for these early levels. If TA is going to dominate, though, it would be on this first couple of waves. Since second phase. The Bat, I get. I assume the Riki ban is because they've played against players that will just pick the Roman core position Riki that follows the Enigma around. So they were afraid of just that. And because of the presence of the Rubik bottom lane, you can see KP already got to a huge lead on the top of Sand King.
That observable, however, is paying dividends. Rubik tried to rotate off and look towards mid lane, and what happened instantly?
Especially for these early levels. If TA is going to dominate, though, it would be on this first couple of waves. Since second phase.
Rotate off
off and look towards mid lane, and what happened instantly?
Especially for these early offers. If TA is going to dominate, though, it would be on this first couple of waves. Second phase.
Yeah, rotate off and look towards mid lane, and what happened instantly?
Especially for these early offers. If TA is going to dominate, though, it would be on this first couple of waves. Second phase.
Yeah, rotate off and look towards mid lane. And
That wasn't just an easy transition.
No,
like transfer.
Yeah, and the thing about it is because Ember versus TA, at a point the TA starts to pull ahead because you just side blade spam, you're getting last hits much easier, you're getting base damage. But Ember can kill TA very easily with the rotation of the +1. Limp is always low, and obviously refraction is not a thing against the Flame Guard.
How Davo, you're very, very visible. That's skill pushing him back. You get a fire strike quickly. There's a lot of damage while battling inside the sandstorm. So Tavo makes a break for the tree line. Cut through to regen up at the same time. KP does not have the spear available, not enough mana, but if he can get in range for just one little rebuke. Okay, now he's going to mana up. Same time, KP. Look for the spear, look for the long range.
Not Leonidas today.
Just one little rebuke.
Okay, he only clipped the ear as well.
Look for the spear, look for the long range.
Top, not relatively even, 2-on-2, but do keep in mind Z-Freak will always just be spamming deny out. Trying to get the stack onto this hard camp. It looks like, don't think he'll make it in time, but you know, it's typical Enigma jungle. Yeah, it's like Z playing with like 3.5 lanes.
The laning phase, like for the Messi, does seem to be so damn good now. Okay, that stroke's a little bit off target. Jets trying to keep the body block up, and with as well, they get the chase guns up. It looks like 3-4-3 is going to be giving the first blood over unless one of these creeps want to turn around and stop him. It won't happen. Jeep will spill the first blood up on top lane. He's the only one. Actually, no, there is. He's the core that's falling behind in the CS, but this will help him get back.
I'm feeling an absolute. You should never deal an absolute on Mercy.
Yeah, I like the way these teams have read the early game is quite nice. Complexity with that ward to protect Limp middle, but Messi, hold up, as I say.
Yeah, Miracle. Mid lane, that's where they're going, over towards Limp. Moon, a lot of damage, B taken, he needs to switch the tagger out, aggro off the tower quickly, then we move ourselves up to top lane with a 12 from our Jeep, 3-4-3 Miracle, really on top of that Phantom Assassin, he doesn't have to jump away, he has to make a break into the trees to get some time for the tower, but it won't happen. 3-4-3 with another Earth Spike.
How did that happen? PA with no leap away available. Must try to get aggressive. Hold up.
He's leading a fire strike if he wants to get the mountain, and he's able to do so. Oh, actually, no, he's not. A lot of damage. There he is. Yeah, what's up, yeah, 3 bounty runes. Okay, Tommy? No, I'm getting tired.
Dire's middle tower is under
If
attack.
KP can skewer him against the tree and pull him out of this, he was actually about to. But didn't find the right line, too many creeps around.
And you see Z-Freak's actually going to smoke up towards top. They're going to try and make another play here. It looks like Catapult Wave, right? So, time to get aggressive. They're going to look to invade the pull and try and push this tower down. Apply some pressure. What is Z-Freak doing here?
He's waiting for the right time. Stun initiation begins. TP support is on the way from Mineski. Ragey Potato the one to do it. And Z-Freak, he's there, but Ninja Boogie. What a great hit. Miracle as well as Z-Freak being thrown back, tossed back in. There will, however, be the effect of Ninja Boogie. The follow-up from 3-4-3. This stun control is great, allowing for at least a 1-1 trade. But they're meant to be pressuring the tower with this. Not just having a 1-1 trade-off on your Enigma who's been farming.
It's a bit ambitious, to be fair, especially after the TP from the Grimstroke comes in. Man, that Wind Ranger would be picked if the power, the shot would...
If KP can skewer him against the tree and pull him out of this, he was actually about to.
Ok, una vez confirmado el pago y verificado, procederé a finalizar el
But didn't find the right line, too many creeps around.
And you see Z-Freak's actually going to smoke up towards top. They're going to try and make another play here. It looks like Catapult Wave, right? So, time to get aggressive. They're going to look to invade the pull and try and push this tower down. Apply some pressure. What is Z-Freak doing here?
He's waiting for the right time. Stun initiation begins. TP support is on the way from Mineski. Ragey Potato the one to do it. And Z-Freak, he's there, but Ninja Boogie. What a great hit. Miracle as well as Z-Freak being thrown back, tossed back in. There will, however, be the effect of Ninja Boogie. The follow-up from 3-4-3. This stun control is great, allowing for at least a 1-1 trade. But they're meant to be pressuring the tower with this. Not just having a 1-1 trade-off on your Enigma who's been farming.
It's a bit ambitious, to be fair, especially after the TP from the Grimstroke comes in. Man, that Wind Ranger would be picked if the power, the shot would...
If KP can many creeps around.
And you see Z-Freak's actually going to smoke up towards top. They're going to try and make another play here. It looks like catapult wave, right? So time to get aggressive. They're going to look to invade the pull and try and push this tower down. Apply some pressure. What is Z-Freak doing here?
He's waiting for the right time. Stun initiation begins. TP support is on the way from Mineski. Raging Potato the one to do it. And Z-Freak, he's there, but Ninja Boogie. Miracle as well as Z-Freak being brought back, tossed back in. There will, however, be the touch from Ninja Boogie to follow, allowing for at least a 1-1 trade. But they're meant to be pressuring the tower with this. Not just having a 1-1 trade-off on your Enigma who's been farming.
The TP from the Grimstroke comes in. Ranger would be picked. It's the power, the shot would.
Tree and pull him out as he was actually about to.
Por ahora hay $0 en mi cuenta. Usted me quiere estafar, viejo. ¿Qué quiere que tú le des cuenta? No, quiere que. Ya va.
But he didn't find the right line, too many creeps around.
And you see Z-Freak's actually going to smoke up towards top. They're going to try and make another play here. It looks like catapult wave, right? So time to get aggressive. They're going to look to invade the pull and try and push this tower down. Apply some pressure. What is Z-Freak doing here?
He's waiting for the right time. Stun initiation begins. TP support is on the way from Mineski. Raging Potato the one to do it. And Z-Freak, he's there, but Ninja Boogie. Miracle as well as Z-Freak being brought back, tossed back in. There will, however, be the touch from Ninja Boogie to follow, allowing for at least a 1-1 trade. But they're meant to be pressuring the tower with this. Not just having a 1-1 trade-off on your Enigma who's been farming.
The TP from the Grimstroke comes in. Ranger would be picked. It's the power, the shot would.
Tree and pull him out as he was actually about to.
Debe seguir las instrucciones de continuación para proceder enviando el dinero a través de la transferencia. Puede ser un estafar, viejo. ¿Qué quiere que tú le des cuenta? No, quiere que visite. A continuación hay una guía de pasos sobre cómo realizar la transferencia. El servicio móvil que es el nombre de la
Looks like catapult wave, right?
Ajá.
Ajá. Look to invade the pull and try and push this tower down. Apply some pressure. What is Z-Freak doing here?
He's waiting for the right time.
Ah, pero si hay
Initiation begins. TP support is on the way from Mineski. Raging Potato the one to do it. And Z-Freak, he's there, but Ninja Boogie. Miracle as well as Z-Freak being brought back, tossed back in. There will, however, be the touch from Ninja Boogie to follow, allowing for at least a 1-1 trade. But they're meant to be pressuring the tower with this. Not just having a 1-1 trade-off on your Enigma who's been farming.
The TP from the Grimstroke comes in. Ranger would be picked. It's the power, the shot would.
Tree and pull him out as he was actually about to.
Debe seguir las instrucciones de continuación para proceder enviando el dinero a través de la transferencia. Puede ser un estafar, viejo. ¿Qué quiere que tú le des cuenta? No, quiere que visite. A continuación hay una guía de pasos sobre cómo realizar la transferencia.
Looks like catapult wave, right?
Ajá. Ajá.
Look to invade the pull and try and push this tower down.
yo enviara 200, 680 dólares como...
Pero que ahí dice pago completado.
Ah, porque ellos hacen los correos, pues, mi amor, ¿no? Pero estoy viendo la vaina, mira, qué impresionante. Los tipos se dedican a esto. ¿Será que hay alguien tan estúpido de enviar la plata? O sea, así antes de recibir.
Claro que sí.
¿Cómo vas a hacer eso si tú no estás recibiendo nada y tú eres el vendedor? Tú no puedes enviar dinero sin... O sea, tú eres el vendedor, pues.
No, pero yo he visto que llegan a los correos los efectivos, ¿entiendes?
No, pero al correo a mí me puede llegar que soy millonario en el correo, pero si yo no voy para el banco y recibo la plata no le mando ni mierda. A mí me pueden decir en el banco que soy millonario, pero yo quiero ser millonario de verdad, quiero ver la platita. Por ahora estoy en $0.
Pero eso elimina.
Querían que yo enviara 200, 600. No, ya lo veo, pero estoy esperando que me responda. Aquí está, pago completado. Debe decirle esto, tener PayPal en el correo electrónico, me pago de envío. Mira, qué impresionante. Los tipos se dedican a esto. ¿Será que hay alguien tan estúpido de enviar la plata? O sea, así antes de recibir. ¿Cómo vas a hacer eso si tú no estás recibiendo nada y tú eres el vendedor? Tú no puedes enviar dinero sin... O sea, tú eres el vendedor. Ya, verde. No, a mí me puede llegar que soy millonario en el correo, pero si yo no voy para el banco y recibo la plata no le mando ni mierda. Y si me mama... A mí me pueden decir en el banco que soy millonario, pero yo quiero ser millonario de verdad, quiero ver la platita. Por ahora estoy en $0.
Pero eso elimina.
Querían que yo enviara 200. Ay, no, pero mira la fecha, oye. 2014, 2015, 2013. ¿Qué carajo? Un mensaje que ve aquí ella y vaina más vieja que ni me acordaba. ¿Será que hay alguien tan estúpido de enviar la plata? O sea, así antes de recibir. ¿Cómo vas a hacer eso si tú no estás recibiendo nada y tú eres el vendedor? Tú no puedes... De paso, todos son hombres. No puedes enviar dinero sin... O sea, tú eres el vendedor. Ya, verde. No, a mí me puede llegar que soy millonario en el correo, pero si yo no voy para el banco y recibo la plata no le mando ni mierda. Y si me mama... A mí me pueden decir en el banco que soy millonario, pero yo quiero ser millonario de verdad, quiero ver la platita. Por ahora estoy en $0. Querían que yo enviara 200. Ay, no, pero mira la fecha, oye. 2014, 2015, 2013. ¿Qué carajo? Un mensaje que ve aquí ella y vaina más vieja que ni me acordaba. ¿Será que hay alguien tan estúpido de enviar la plata? O sea, así antes de recibir. ¿Cómo vas a hacer eso si tú no estás recibiendo nada y tú eres el vendedor? Tú no puedes... De paso, todos son hombres. No puedes enviar dinero sin... O sea, tú eres el vendedor. Ya, verde. No, a mí me puede llegar que soy millonario en el correo, pero si yo no voy para el banco y recibo la plata no le mando ni mierda. Y si me mama... A mí me pueden decir en el banco que soy millonario, pero yo quiero ser millonario de verdad, quiero ver la platita. Por ahora estoy en $0. Querían que yo enviara 200. Ay, no, pero mira la fecha, oye. 2014, 2015, 2013. ¿Qué carajo? Un mensaje que ve aquí ella y vaina más vieja que ni me acordaba. ¿Será que hay alguien tan estúpido de enviar la plata? O sea, así antes de recibir. ¿Cómo vas a hacer eso si tú no estás recibiendo nada y tú eres el vendedor? Tú no puedes... De paso, todos son hombres. No puedes enviar dinero sin... O sea, tú eres el vendedor. Me había emocionado yo. Ya, verde. No, a mí me puede llegar que soy millonario en el correo, pero si yo no voy para el banco y recibo la plata no le mando ni mierda. Y si me mama... A mí me pueden decir en el banco que soy millonario, pero yo quiero ser millonario de verdad, quiero ver la platita.
Does die, it's easier for Cole to connect towards mid, and you need space for your PA. You need to ensure that Cole don't get these early towers, because Mineski, you don't have that option to split push and kill objectives. You have no natural tower damage. You need more time for your big course to come online, notably the dodge of PA.
It just means there's so much commitment coming to the northern side. Complexity were happy to let that tier 1 tower go on bottom lane to ensure this. But because Mineski is spending so much time ensuring the tier 1 and the tier 1 tower and top and mid doesn't go down, they can't really make the most of that bottom lane.
Yep, and now you have bots on Tavo. So Cole, with the Midas, the bots, they have no problem taking this game later. I think they're going to be at a significant edge for a little bit longer until that PA Battle Fury BKB combination is up and running. What's wrong with my English today? Blink on KP though, so he's going to look to get aggressive soon. Cole though,
Dire's bottom tower
I don't know if
is
they
under
mind
attack.
that. They're going to have Deso coming on TA in just a moment.
Unless he's just trying to connect into the back line. You put the arena up on top of Enigma, on top of SK, on top of Lion, and then he's like, okay, well, I control the people I can control, and not the ones who have immunity.
And you can just see, like, complexity. You can't fight into their draft, even though you can deal with the Enigma Black Hole, sure, but without Tavo showing, you know that he's always going to be... Combo, and immediately with no Flame Guard, the Ember Spirit of Moon died immediately. Arcane Rune picked up on Limp. He will be rushing the BKB after the Deso as expected.
This is a nice deal for Raging Potato. He gets trapped, so with that Desolator you're talking about, like it's the fact that he can look towards for ready to go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money that will come into the Phantom Assassin, and I think you can have a harder time as well for Enigma, keeping the pressure up, got to split up the conversions, and it's just like how they push with
no natural like creep hitting mechanics. It's just it feels annoying to play Dota nowadays.
Mineski smirked up as well. They're going to come close, but they're going the opposite direction. So never mind, Kyle. Back to your point.
Blink on Enigma is ready to go. You've got to be careful for the Rubik. But if they're able to take him out, you know, it's much easier for Z-Freak to play, and it turns him into like the initiator of sorts, because TA is going to go in, you have the Lifestealer inside of him, and then the Sand King with Bot's Veil, 440 base move speed, you're just going to keep going forward. So in a way you protect the Enigma, because he can just go all out. You can kill the Mineski supports and then deal with the cores if they try and engage.
So that tower that Mineski's done so much work to protect, will be traded off. Here comes the TP supports. Mineski were ready to fight. That's why KP sitting in the back lines.
Oh, he's on the trap, though.
Hey, he is. They can see him. He's even going to start farming up Ancients while he's here. Okay, no, remember, that's the other trap. That's Raging Potato's trap. They don't come color coordinated, unfortunately. Pink and green would be nice.
Radiant
Maybe they actually have that with the Arcana, right? It should turn green with the Arcana.
Tower is under attack.
Or you gotta look for the bars. One's green, one's red.
Well, they're red on the minimap.
Yeah, it's the health bars above. One's green, one's red. But the funny thing is, the green ones actually belong to Complexity. The red ones belong to Mineski. Just to make everything a little bit more simple.
Yeah. So Cole's definitely feeling good right now. I think their team fight is better. If you look at the levels as well, you've got to feel confident when you consider 18, 16, 15 on your 3 cores, 15, 14, 13 on Mineski. Also a 5K gold lead. The longer this game's staying passive, the better it is for Cole. And yeah, sure, the PA Battle Fury will equalize that a bit, but I'm just still so concerned. He's so squishy, and Cole have so much magical burst damage. You're going to have a blink picked up right now by Tavo.
You know, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm still wondering if they can even reach her. Like,
you just go.
At this point,
where's the initiation for Mineski right now? You can blink in with the Arena of Blood, sure, but yeah, exactly. And what are you going to do to counter a TA BKB, a Lifestealer Rage that just goes straight for your backline? I expect an engagement around Roche very soon. I think you're waiting for the BKB on TA. He'll have that in just 500 gold. And then Complexity will certainly look to take a fight to Mineski, who are going to smoke up, try and cover this Ember push bottom. He does have a rating as well.
You know that's JJ doing observing when he hot flicks like that. I see you, JJ. Literally, actually, through the screen.
Yeah, Complexity, this is tough now. Do you want to make this fight happen bottom? You know Mineski's in the area, but you don't have the BKB on limp. You can see they're very reluctant.
Yeah, Mineski really are staying back.
It's counter initiation, as you said. They don't have the ability to take the fight too cold, but if they step out of position, they'll be able to turn it around.
And it doesn't look like either side wants this at all. It's just continue to farm, continue to get your items. Nobody's going to fight today. It's just now all these towers, which were the priority.
Se arman un correo totalmente serio. No, ¿qué tal? Ya te depositamos 2000, pero por políticas tal, bueno, tú vas a depositarnos 600 para que PayPal te libere los 1300. Sí. Yo ayer...
No save on Mineski. They don't have that big golem counter.
They've also got the majority of every single one of the runes, and we'll see if Mineski can defend it. Aside of Fist Searing Chains, catching Life Stealer, but the TA traps continue to pop up, but they're underneath Dire Sentries as well.
And they're still looking to get aggressive. They're just going to keep chasing. Limp is moving forwards. He's going to hit another trap.
Buzz up in 4. There's your Burrow Strike 4. Tavo going in. Raging Potato couldn't actually get the ability in time to Burrow Strike away. So Raging Potato and Boogie dying very quickly.
Yeah, at this point, Mineski, they have to play split around the map. They can't win fights right now. We've witnessed why. Complexity have the initiation advantage, and right now, that's king. They will find kills. If you're Mineski, you've got to just avoid. Let the supports die. It's not terrible. You will probably lose Roche here. Ajit, though, with the BKB, perhaps could get expected.
They're ready for his KP. He goes for the steal back. They want to get the quick kill over Enigma. Black Hole developed on the side. Then buyback is up, and he's going to use it straight away. And the revenge rebuttal into KP. Ajit, he jumps in, using that 10-second BKB to do some work. Move and create a little bit more space for him to back up. Throwing the side flame daggers, trying to get rid of that TA's movement. They're able to do so. Roshan is still alive for the moment.
They did use the Arena of Blood, however. Buybacks used on both sides. 2 from Mineski, 1 from Complexity. It's so tough for Ajit to play this fight now without BKB.
Look where KP's standing.
Right on the trap.
Yep.
They see him.
Can they get him? Blink up. Quickly away. The trap, however, catching Potato as well as KP. A good spear. The quick miracle away. Potato, he's just sacrificing himself. He knew it. But what's happening in the meantime? The top lane's pushing in, Complexity really committing for this Roshan, but it always feels like someone's close enough to be a hindrance.
It's Mineski trying to poke and prod, get somebody from call out of position, and then bam.
Oh, they're wrapping around the back line. Moon's so close, but Tavo gets the bonus strike off. And then lost in D3. He gets the black hole. They're getting the damage through 3-4-3. They'll have enough with the follow-up stun. But now Ajit, what can you do? He needs that BKB. It is off cooldown. The buybacks are there, the double. He jumps forward, gets a big hit over on Miracle. Roshan is still alive at the moment. Now the Hex. Tavo as an infest bomb, looking for the PA, but the wall is up. KP completely misses his spear, but it may not matter. Tavo picks up, throw back down again. Miracle finally has to pop back out, and by doing so, he'll get the kill over on Miracle. Oh, boy.
He got the black hole on Rubik, but just completely whiffed it. Now they will not have that advantage.
Oh, Potato
able to kill the Life Stealer there.
That is problematic to say the least.
And
Roshan, my God, he's still alive.
You can see how much both teams emphasize that they know the edge. The squad that picks up the edges will get.
Moon, careful. Gets the Searing Chains over on Life Steal, and he's okay for the moment.
That was huge, though. A buyback used on KP and on Moon, plus both support. Only the support duo of Complexity forced to use theirs. All 3 cores still have that available. So if you look to fight again around Roche, it's almost certain Complexity would win it.
I feel like Limp got a 10-second BKB just like 3 minutes ago. It's already down to 8 seconds.
Yeah, Ajit's already got his to 8 as well.
This just feels like it's like Complexity. They still can't just finish Roshan. They're being pressured on the bottom, being pressured up on the top. Mineski's global positioning is actually really working for him now.
Yeah, but you're starting to see a bit of the problem with the Mineski lineup, which is the lack of just raw damage output. They need a huge PA. Right now, Lifestealer with the plate mail, with the radiance, an armlet, he's just indestructible. 36 armor.
Gone in again. Sentry ball is being planted. That Dire Observe 4 times out. They see Roshan so low. Miracle, one more attack. Will get it. Moon has the aim. The ball. Double stop from Tama. Stolen right now. They're going to look at the Sandstorm. So Moon, he's going to fall. If they can get him, the TA trap is going to trigger. But Moon's bottle charging as quick as he possibly can as he spirits the way to safety. Ninja Boogie once again having to take the sacrifice for the team.
Limp missed that initial side blade hit. Otherwise, he would have been able to kill the Ember there, only getting the Grimstroke. But you do get Roshan, 8K gold lead now for Complexity. And you got to be feeling good because they still have this catch advantage. And look, once again, Rage Potato.
And Tavo's right on top of him. But a Sandstorm versus Sandstorm at the moment. Midnight Pulse, however, is a little bit stronger combining with the Sandstorm. So up in the trees, Fire Strike will close the distance, but that's why they blink forward both Z-Freak and Limp. Surrounding Raging Potato, that just felt like a bit of a backyard stabbing. That's not fun.
Indeed. Just look at the tankiness of Complexity, right? You're going to have a BKB on Enigma, finished in 30 gold. Sand King with the 10 armor talent, in addition, 2,000 HP. Already brought up the Lifestealer's itemization. He'll have AC finished soon. It's just such a tough ask for Mineski because you don't have the damage. Your PA has a BKB, now a Deso, sure, but we already just discussed how much armor these cold heroes have. You've got to find a way to kill the 3/4/3 Lion and the Z-Freak Enigma, but you can't do that because your initiation just is not up to snuff in comparison to the Cole lineup.
And Complexity actually coming high ground already. They're with Limp. He feels confident enough. Okay, maybe Miracle is a better choice. Beaten to the towers. He's a creep wave with him, however. Sleight of fist steering change, catching the 2 on the back line. Miracle, heavy damage early on, but that's why Rage and Lifesteal. And too much hit. That's not stopping Moon from moving forward or copping 2 side blades from Limp.
They're looking to go in here, infest into Tavo. Rage is back off cooldown. If they can find KP, he will die immediately.
And Moon's
still no force fast.
Moon actually jumped down the bottom lane. The Fire Strike Tavo, he got into the back line. He found the Phantom Assassin, sent up. They don't want to go for this, however. The infest pop does not feel right.
I like that decision from Cole. It was a bit scary. You're ahead, but that initiation advantage disappears if you're jumping right into the waiting midst of 5 enemy players.
The split push as well just keeps causing so many problems. The side lanes are never in Complexity's favor.
Yep, and that's how Mineski have to keep playing. Poke and prod, force Complexity into an overextension, into a mistake, as your Ember Spirit of Moon continues to try and get ahead. But it's that buyback, man. Anytime Chorus buyback, you feel so bad, and that's the reason his net worth has dropped off.
Mineski are coming to rectify some of the damage done to them. Smoked up. Miracle's the one on the front line. 3/4/3 and Limp ready to jump as well. Miracle already raging very early on. KP's going to love this. If he can just blink and get it down, he'll find actually Limp.
Limp's got an Orchid up as well.
He does.
And Mineski, they got to be careful. I'm telling you, that you don't necessarily want to fight into Complexity. You got to do this. Yeah, Moon's a top lane. Force mistakes. That's the name of the game here. Limp's to go in. Orchid, yeah, and KP's dead.
Our first reveal, and that's 52 seconds without Mars.
And no buyback, and they should know it if they have a timer. Now it's a 4-on-5. Mineski's beelining for the split waves. With Complexity, they've got so much physical damage.
They've already got a big wave there. There's no clearance for it just yet. Sleight of fist doing some work. Ninja Boogie going to throw the stroke. Z-Freak just come in with a BKB black hole. Wants the Ember down. 104 seconds. Down for so long. Black hole is stolen by Rubik. And the Limp's already starting up his fight against the Phantom Assassin. A little hard to hit that target, but he's still giving it a shot. And now Fire Strike. Oh, he caught the back line. He caught the Rubik. Soulbind is already up, and Rubik is already down. No buyback developed from anyone from Mineski. The black hole was absolutely nothing. Miracle. He just toggling his way out, and then infect. Another Fire Strike, another control with the finger of death. Putting down our Jit. The buyback will be there to get him into the fight, but Ninja Boogie's gone. And now it's just Phantom Assassin. He'll have Mars back to the world of the living. They can't go for another lane of racks, but can they go for the GG? It looks like Limp wants to keep pushing this. They want to end this right now. But what do you do if you're Mineski? You don't have enough firepower.
They're just killing the tier 4, Toby. The AC isn't even on. The courier died. Miracle doesn't have his AC complete. It doesn't even matter. All heroes dead. And you can just see Complexity. They find the initial kill. They back up. They reset. So many cheap abilities. Great toggle there for Miracle to stay alive. And now KP is in trouble if he were to get an Orchid range.
He's trying to be bait. He's trying to buy time for the Ember to come back up. So all the tier 4 towers go down. Complexity, they're retreating.
Yeah.
They do not want this fight.
It's a big gold infusion, and it ensures mid lane has to be dealt with before the throne just starts taking damage. He goes straight for the bottom now. Miracle's going to pop the ulti, heal the full, no problemo.
Easy. Get the new items. Burrow strike forward. Tavo missing on that. And underneath the sentry, what he felt pretty confident. Limp. Oh, KP. He's ordered it up. He'll walk himself out of his own arena. SK will go down. Until they will find that down to the fault line. Catching out the back line. And now another double stun could be dead from Raging Potato. No, he only caught out in one, but out here 3-4-3. He's the primary target. Maybe now they can kill off Miracle, but Tavo, he's waiting in the tree line. Great help out at a moment's notice. And he needs it. Limp held in position, but alright, there's a sentry one. He'll be revealed. Tavo as well. This is just getting scrappy. I get a triple kill. Tavo is going to give him another one. And take all the tier 4 towers you want. You've only got one lane of racks at the end of all of this. And SK's dead for so long.
Well, and they know that. Complexity. Man, I can't tell you. I've seen that a lot. I've lived that a lot. You're going in for a kill. It's really just not necessary, Toby. You've got the tier 4s down, but that's what Mineski been waiting for. They're
going to find
this mistake.
Raging Potato saw him at a half moment. Too late.
Middle tower is under attack.
They would love to get this kill, but they know they need to push somewhere else. The mid lane is the primary objective at the moment.
And now you've got the solar. It's just an interesting build for moving. You bought a solar crest. They're just rocking that. I need to spend my... They're going to at least be able to get a tier 3 here, possibly even a Rax. And yeah, those tier 4s were nice, but they don't actually provide map control once you get the Rax. And if they equalize,
he's actually found Z-Freak all by himself. He was down here picking up the 35-minute bounding runes. Another spirit jump. The stun won't control him long enough. BT's on cooldown for another 48 seconds, but now the spear back. Miracle caught. The chain stuns are absolutely perfect, and you get critted down by the PA. Buybacks are there. They're going to lose their mid lane of Rax. But thanks to the fact there's no tier 2 tower on bottom lane, Mineski can now go for a second lane of Rax and get momentum in creep wave. Oh boy. Lion is slowly moving back down again. They don't want to burn these buybacks. In fact, they're not going to. They're going to let the second lane of Rax fall, knowing that Mineski won't finish this game. Not yet.
This is Dota 2. You know, obviously that was a pretty huge sequence of events in terms of Cole making mistakes, but that's the Mineski draft. They needed Cole to make a mistake. They made a huge one, and all of a sudden they're in a dominating position within the game. PA now top net worth. Those damage issues, they're starting to disappear, especially when you consider you're about to hit that triple strike stifling dagger on the PA. He'll have an abyssal soon. If Cole just chill, if they just chill and run away after tier 4s, get the AC onto the lifestealer, regroup, and then walk back at Mineski, they're going to win this game 95 times out of 100. Now,
in fact, look at the percentage. It was basically 95%.
And now it's 50-50. Like, they've let the game equalize. And it's still anyone's game. It's just, man, it's just Dota 2.
And now Ember Spirit's got the entire Aghanim Scepter as well. So, welcome to more maneuverability. We've seen this already. And a BKB delivered to KP.
And is that a BKB on the Ember as well complete? No.
He actually dropped something back at base.
Oh, he went for an Ags instead.
Got more maneuverability to try and kite out whenever someone jumps closer.
Dude, suddenly all the items Mineski were missing to fight Cole, they now possess.
This is exactly the same way the complexity turned around on game 1. It's like, oh look, we have all of our items now because a couple of critical mistakes. They'll smoke up and see if they can find themselves. Unless the circle is to wrap around and go into the dire jungle. The Radiant Scan, it triggers properly, but that's Raging Potato with 4 stars and Blink Dagger now arriving, but they'll kill him in time. The Orchid triggers and he goes down.
Keep in mind, the win condition for Cole here, there's no buyback on PA. If they're able to take him down, that's huge. There is a buyback on Rubik.
Ember just went in through bottom lane. He's keeping the pressure.
Man, they're going for the throne. They're going for the GG here.
They're going to try and end it. Well, Abyssal Blade is there for the Phantom Assassin.
PA, the only hero on Mineski that cannot die. There is no buyback available.
TPs are in. Miracle. Well, the Tavo TPing out to go on the defense, and all of Complexity has retreated.
If they're thinking about Roche, DD rune bottom, that would be big.
Well, it looks like Mineski would be the ones that would head for it, but they still think that they're going to be here for the fight.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
And the thing is, though, PA has spent all his money. He's gotten Abyssal up, whereas if you look at the 2 cores of complexity, 4K on the TA, nearly 4K on Miracle. They've got buyback, but that's 8K gold that they have not used in a completely even game.
They found the DD.
And
what's even
bottles.
nicer is the fact that, yeah, he's holding it in the bottle, saving it for the exact time. If you got another smoke, maybe this is that chance to use it. It's coming on the courier for Meneski. Lion's going to get his own initiation with the blink dagger coming on courier.
It's all about the initiation advantage now for Cole. They need that jump.
Shadowblade. They got blink and Shadowblade for Z-Freak. He'll have to give his dust over to somebody else, but Moon keeps doing this.
Yeah.
He's running TP scroll and BT, so it's really easy for him just to BT down to the lane. If he gets in trouble, he's got an extra escape mechanism if it's not Spirit.
And he's got Ags too, so once he hits 25, he'll be able to just remnant across the map, even if his teleports are on cooldown. There's Suspense Gold, Nullifier on the TA, MKB on the Lifestealer. I like this choice from Cole. You're not going to win the game with buybacks. You'll end up too far behind in your damage output.
But they're going to make it work. Meneski are coming for the fight. They want to get involved. Roshan has spawned up. Complexity will be aware of this. Meneski will not. They don't have traps.
It's all about the initiation. If PA can get vision and go in with an Abyssal DD, pop the BKB, that target's going to die. He'd prefer to get 3-4-3, of course. If you're Complexity, you want to do the exact same thing to the enemy supports. It's just going to be who gets the jump.
Yep. Watch the positioning. Watch the observer watch. There's two great observer watch from both sides. Watching that defensive shrine position near Roshan. Fresh traps coming down. Tavo with the Infest Bomb, Z-Freak, Shadowblade moving forward. He's going to walk right on top of him, and now he can actually peek at his black hole. No, he gets Invisible Blade, and he's going to put it down. Now they go for the wall as well. There has to be the buyback, and they may have to get back into this fight. Who's going to be left in this time? PA has gone. He's took him a double damage. Now he gets black hole, but it only catches Mars. He's the only one down, and he was able to blink himself away in time. Maybe with a silence, Z-Freak with nothing left to give.
Complexity. Just getting over eager there.
Now Moon, your Scepter. I don't know if they really want to jump on this one.
Still a DD on Andre.
They got dust. That reveals Harper with the jump forward. Ajit gets the crit off. So much damage, and he can move into Roshan. Two heroes without buyback, no black hole. This is Roshan to Meneski.
Level 25 as well on the PA.
Oh boy.
And that, it's all about the jump, right? And PA gets it. That fight's going their way, no problem. Even with the buyback, it doesn't matter.
Like Z-Freak was going to get it. Like, he's just sitting there on top of two heroes. Like, oh, okay, now it's like, boom, instantly hit.
And not to mention, 3-for-3, he blinked right to the Arena of Blood. And then I'll just like, oh, wait, hey, you're here too? Dead immediately.
Special delivery.
And it's huge as well. They have the level 25s on Meneski. You don't have them yet on Complexity. Limp has his, sure, but the Meld Bash is quite nice. All right, it's not bad, but really good to have triple strike daggers and of course the Remnant recharge time. So Moon is effectively never off map, and we saw what he did in the second game. You get this. It was Ajit actually. It doesn't matter. They play it so well. It doesn't matter who's on it.
And once he gets the BKB, it seems even like, impossible to control. Unless he's just cleaning up outside the base, taking out shrines, taking out wards, taking out any kind of information that allows Complexity to posture nicely for the fight. But until they have Black Hole up, that's probably another big timer to watch. How long until you got it? 62 seconds until Enigma will have that.
The difficulty is just PS doing so much damage now. You've got a controller, but it's so tough to target her.
Moon. Oh, he sees him in the trees. 3-4-3 wants to be sneaky there, but he can't do that.
I mean, the Lifestealer is still very tanky. 20% evasion, near 50 armor. But another DD. Another DD bottom. This one's just going to be picked up by Moon, not bottled.
And he'll take both of the 40-minute bounty runes as well, so it's not like Meneski didn't have enough money. And you see the start of these runes, so much of it was controlled by Complexity. So much of the map was controlled by Complexity. It just swings around. All four now go the way of Meneski, not Complexity. So, boom. And they're entering the mid. PA under blur, jumps in, no, goodbye Lion, but that may be a little bit too deep. They're going to find the kill. Aegis Immortal will be expended while Moon is trying to keep Tavo under control down the bottom lane. Moon needs to actually TP himself to get involved in this fight as they rotate towards the top lane. Tavo, he does his own TP after damage, even with the spirits, it wasn't enough to kill off Tavo.
Look at the base though, there's no Aegis, sure, but there's no Lion. A worthy trade if they can make something happen over the next 50 seconds, but they're afraid. He might have buyback, they're unsure what the situation is. And remember, if you get the Nullifier off from Limp's TA, you will not be able to BKB on Ajit. It's, again, initiation, Toby. Whoever gets the initial jump will find that kill. You
Yep.
don't have real save mechanics on either side.
Maybe that's also the reason too why you see Moon switch from BKB into Blink Dagger. He understands that necessity to get the instant jump.
Yeah,
Blink,
exactly.
blink searing chain.
You're not going to die unless you're getting hexed, jumped, stunned, something. So you might as well ensure that you get the information to hopefully make the ideal move as the squad moves out. Moon looking to kill this mid creep wave. Complexity are stuck in their base, but as we've seen so far in this game, it doesn't change on a dime.
Like
here.
if Complexity are able to hold, and Mineski don't have enough buybacks available, they just go straight down mid. There's no tower standing in their way.
And if we check out the buyback status, everyone has that available except the huge team fighters, the Rubik, the Enigma, and the Mars. Everyone else has it ready to go at 343, still waiting for a bit more gold before he'll have his. But the key cores in terms of DPS output are ready. And you do have the level 25s coming out soon on Complexity. But man, just not quite.
Yeah, Ragey Potato, they were yours to begin with.
Yeah. I actually think the Sandstorm blind talent might be great for the Sand King in this game. So good against PA without the MKB, and he's not looking to get one either. He wants the Satanic for the survivability.
I suppose you're also reaching that point too where not as many people from Mineski can afford to hold dust in their backpack, because that's what's been always revealing Tavo.
The thing is, even if you're revealed, it would still affect it. That's what makes it so strong here. Mars, BKB, has the gem. No, it is. Oh, did he still burrow? He did. That's huge. One of the better spells in this game for Raging Potato to possess. You can see Limp hunting. They had vision. They knew Moon was in the area bottom. And even though he does have the blink and the remnants, if he's jumped by a stun, he will die no matter what. It's all about being elusive. No such thing as tanky here. And a second quad bounty when picked up by Mineski. I feel like there hasn't been much happening since they picked him up last time, yet their gold lead has jumped to 7K.
It's like Lifesteal is just sitting there, just doing nothing. Like he's sitting inside the Templar Assassin. This is no hands gaming.
And they're hunting here.
Oh, Moon. Spirits everywhere. Jumps down, jumps back.
Yep. He's got an idea what he needs to do here.
It's like he's almost like trying to grab the attention of Complexity while Mineski keep the pressure on the top lane. Because we've talked about this so many times when we cast, like that pressure supplied to bottom is just separating and just pulling people off the top lane.
The jump!
They found the target. Grimstroke's down. 80 seconds without buyback.
So I got excited because Tavo held his 25 talent for like 20 seconds thinking about it, and he went for Sandstorm blind. Like it's 50% slow and blind, so it's like giving your entire the enemy team. Well, it gives your team blur.
Hey, an 82% win rate for it on this match. Like, go for it.
It's good with no one can.
Moving forward, fire strike underneath the observer. Z-Freak gets the black hole off. Is there a deal? Is there something? Yes, there's no black hole. Look at the talent, grabbing them right on top of Flint's easy moment. They are going to hit the crit and the cleave down. Z-Freak and Miracle, they're the ones who are causing all of this whole problem. Tavo is trying to help out. Miracle getting by, stealing as well as he is. He'll buy some more time. Can Limp get himself out this one? He's trying to retreat. No Miracle. On top back out of Tavo. And Hadara strike. It's there from Rubik. The chase does it there. It finally finds the crit. Another virus strike. This is the real escape. They just can't attack through it. Limp can finally come back into the fight, but I just himself a double kill. Someone get rid of this bloody SK so we can finally start hitting. They're bringing Moon back to the fight. He's got the spirit. The rest are jumping. Tavo under the sentry wall. Finally they get rid of the blinding, and now they can kill off the PA. They just have so much money to sustain this Mineski push. They're being funded by the Iron Bank, and Complexity are buckling.
TA no buyback, Enigma no buyback, Mars no buyback.
This may be it.
And look bottom. Of all the runes for Cole to play against, once again.
He's like, I could bottle this, but hey, you take the bottle and bring it with you.
Yeah, Z-Freak looking to get aggressive, but you gotta wonder if that black hole's the right play. You're under an enemy ward, and of course, you don't see Rubik. He's going to get the steal.
Yeah. But it felt so good that you had two of your cores that you wanted to kill off, but
it's got to be the Rubik, though. You have to get onto the supports. Ag now picked up. It's going to be a 3-on-5 for the game. And PA has that DD bottle.
We've got an Axe coming as well in for... who does that bomb belong to? It's coming for the Sand King. Well, he'll at least spend his money as long as he doesn't kill the courier to the creep wave. Ember Spirit, he's jumping into the trees. They're looking for it because they saw that with the Dire Observer Ward, the courier came out. They want to make sure they don't have anything to find with, no one to hide in the trees. Whoop, fortification. Courier does get back safely.
Negative now.
Yep. Ember has Shivas completed as well. But with full megas up, the pressure is
fully on Complexity. And it's crazy to think the Complexity were the ones beating the tier 4 towers down and retreated away from this. And now they're the ones defending their tier 4 towers. Ragey Potatoes gets the pick up, throw down. He actually still stands still with the Axe upgrade. All right, sure. Miracle, low on life. The jump in, Ember Spirit. These all bind them together. Tavo and Miracle, they're going to go down. That's real problematic, especially when the backline 3-4-3 on top of no other choice to get back in the base. And the Spirit committal. Moon gets it. 3 euros down without buyback. TA may be spawning in just a second, but they got no damage between Tavo. He's going to throw the epicenter forward. Whatever he's got, whatever can slow this game up, he'll use it. But heck, the follow-up's done, and he'll be critted down to full death. Enigma is hiding in base with Black Hole available, but Z-Freak, I know you're a great player, but I don't know how you make this play. Rage Potato's waiting for you. They nullify it, so Limp can actually jump forward. So then something can be done with Z-Freak. He needs to let the ulti go, but Rage Potato's going to break the free. The Lotus Orb gives him back everything he's got, and that's the game. That's definitely GG, well played. Z-Freak, he can refresh up and die inside of his own black hole that can be stolen. Mineski will 2-1 against Complexity. The series, the long stretch, the long day, but they hold true.
What a series. What a series by these teams. Mineski, credit to them. The fortitude to